Ooh. That's going. This is good. Are we going? That should be decent. One of these. Oh, ooh, what's good, Super? It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. Trying to get out of my sweater. Oh my god, I didn't plug in my thing yet. Shit. Alright, good. I can use my mouse now. What's up, Lone? Alright. I'm good. I'm good to go. Hitting buttons. Do. Boom. Please. It's good. It's okay, we should say. Good's a strong word. It's fine. That's there. This is over here. Some would say, why didn't you do this before the stream? I did, but then I didn't do most of it. This. Squeeze that over there. It's okay. Alright, good. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Hopefully you're good. It's been a millennia since we've seen each other. It's been a couple hours. We just streamed yesterday. But, dude, let me tell you, I was not sure about the hot dog H3, the VR game we played yesterday. I wasn't sure about it as far as streams go, because it kind of has, how do I put it? It has like complexity, but it also has kind of like this idea of like make your own fun, and it's kind of hard to make your own fun when you're also streaming, when you're also trying to play well, and it's just like it's another plate to spin, I guess. And I was kind of like, oh god. But then we got into taking hold, and dude, it was a fun ass stream tomorrow. I can't wait. Also, Lone says hello from Twitch. Hello from Twitch from Lone as well. But ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the stream? That man's got the bluest eyes I've ever seen. Anyways, I was gonna say, I can't wait, man. I've ordered some yerba mate tea that has durian in it. I think it's just like a coffee thing, but I can't wait. Also, there's this game. Will this game ever come out? We don't know. We don't know. And then this. Also, what's good? JX Dog, can I just say Dog? What's good, Dog? Dog says hi. Hello, Dog. How are you? Some new people here popping in. Hello, how are you guys? Hopefully having a lovely day. I really wish YouTube took away that like emote in the bottom of the chat. That's like a heart and a smile and like and 100%. Like there's emotes. Like we can use. They updated the chat of the Twitch stream, so now you can add cute emotes. I think it's easy for me as a moderator, or whatever, or not a moderator, as the owner of the channel, can do like a poll or I think a vote or something. Nah. Anyways, Super says, yeah, definitely agree. Yeah, I'm about to say, Super. It's been a minute. What have you been getting up to? Wait, stream tomorrow? No, it's not stream. Did I say tomorrow? Shit, I didn't mean tomorrow. Yeah, stream yesterday. I meant the stream we did yesterday. I wasn't sure about. Oh no, the stream we did on Friday, we did hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades, and I feel like it was I spent most of my time like not knowing what to do, and also it happened to have like the worst audio ever, and you guys just didn't tell me about it. Well, you did. Some of you guys did, kind of in a weird way. But the second stream to me was awesome. We actually had some like, again, it's a testament to like, I feel like you're far better off going to like smaller communities where there's like really good passionate people. Like for instance, the game we played yesterday had like just an ironclad community of like really passionate, tight-knit people. It's not exactly massive, but it's just people who really like the game, and I'm imagining they were like all too willing to help me understand things as well. So I think it's always a nice thing to when you go and explore a niche culture, and they're also the community just wonderful, you know. I think that's a good way to meet new people and have your stream grow as well. Either that, or you play like every new video game ever, and you hopefully get some like, yeah, some like background things going on. Lone says, also Lone, how you been going? How's everything going on? How's your day been? Hopefully good. Lone says, you have to remove that, I think, Grin. Have to remove what? Have to remove what? The, what do you mean? Do they mean like the previous stream? Like yesterday's stream? Maybe. Honestly, it might be that, yeah. It might just be better to fucking... Oh, also, I need to upload a video today. I've been sitting on these 2 videos. I've been trying to like get them uploaded, but I'm also not sure if they'll succeed at all. So I'm kind of like, just like as soon as I upload them, I'm gonna get punched in the chest, kind of thing. So yeah, also that's so cool. That like you could be anywhere on the map, and then these weird chains just come and pull you to your friends and the boss. That's rad. Isn't it one of those things where like one of those rings can only have someone who's pure of heart, or am I thinking of Disney or something? I don't know. Green Lantern was a weird thing. You have to remove that, I think, Grin. Oh, I have to remove that? Oh, the heart in the corner of the chat. Oh, I see. How do I remove it? I don't know if I click it. No, I can't do that. I think if I... Nope. Timestamps, moderator active. No, none of that. I don't think I can remove. Maybe if it's in like the options, like the settings deep within YouTube, but I haven't seen any sort of specialized settings for the YouTube. Also, I could see them being like, nah, we want to see what data comes through, if people use that or not. You know. Although the options for you to like glisten, I guess, are pretty weird. It's a heart, a smiley face, a confetti cannon thing, and then a shocked face. Like, I think maybe this is YouTube's attempt at doing, like, all of the iconic, reaction faces from Twitch, but they are, like, doing a fucking emojis, which have no character at all. They're soulless entities that are just supposed to describe a kind of passing emotion, not, like, an iconic, freakish thing. Also, I don't know what's going on. I've not seen this trailer. I'm very excited. I'm excited. I'll say excited. Not very excited. I'm excited for good old... Suicide Squad. I know not everyone is. Some people are like, I don't want this. I feel really annoyed by... I talked to you guys about this beforehand. I feel very annoyed with the overall vibe of people who are basically like... How do I put this? I've maybe put this better in the past. But basically, I find it frustrating that like the devs for this game, the people who made Arkham City, now Arkham City is a beloved game, Arkham Knight as well, beloved game, people love Batman, the whole thing, they did great. They took a property of a game that had like no good IP for years, and then they fucking made a banger of a game, and people were like, holy shit, this is amazing. And then, for like years, they've been telling us, we're going to make a cooperative shooter, and it's going to be like a live service element, because that's what we want to do, because frankly, that'll be good for us to basically make a residual income so that we can actually pursue other projects outside of these specific properties, like anything that has to do with another, AAA Marvel, DC kind of era thing. So they told us this forever. That this was going to be the game. And then as soon as there's gameplay of this, every single person is like shitting all over it, despite we always knew this is what it was going to be. It's not it's also entirely not the same demo as Arkham Knight. So like, it's one of these things where people just sort of pissed off at the devs who told them for years, I'm not making a game for you. And then when they do get the thing that they were making for them and they're not the demo, they're like, fuck you, this sucks, this is a piece of shit. And I'm like, no, it's exactly what they said it was going to be. And it's not, you're not the dominant audience that they're trying to make this for. So it's just crazy, the thought process. I think it's nuts. Anyways, it looks neat. It looks neat. I don't know if it's going to be a good live service game. It might be a piece of shit. Maybe a piece of shit game in general. I don't know. But it looks like you guys have some fun with the boys. Okay? Being a shark man or a smexy clown lady, etc. Alone said, my day has been good. I finished, my day's been good. Currently playing Mafia 2. I feel like you've played that a lot already. I feel like you've played it a lot. Also, I finished my fan art for Nikita Fan. Oh, I can't wait to see it. I bet it looks crisp, clean. Also, I like how the homeless man randomly, I guess, became, fucking, what do you call it? What's his name? The Flash, the failed movie, I was going to say. Yeah. Also, dude, I love how, I think it's so funny, the whole Ezra Miller thing. It's fucked up, but it's also, like, so fucked up and funny. But, like, man, woof, what a guy. What a guy. And the execs were like, well, fuck it. We'll be fine. I guess they did spend a lot of money, but still. Alone says, also, I got another commission request. Oh, was this from like another, what do you call it, like an passionate friend or an acquaintance, or did this come from like online? I'm curious if you're actually setting up like for people to access you in an online setting, which is actually turns it kind of into like a nice business-esque amplified hobby, I guess I should say. But in fact, if you got another person that's coming in, well, what's the story there? Did they see some of your work and were like, that's fucking fire, let me get this? Alone says, also, what's good? Dog says, Lounzy, you're making want to do another play. Lone, you're making me want to do another play of Mafia 2. Dude, Mafia 2 is one of those games that's like, you gotta want it to do another playthrough. I remember playing that game. I loved it. I loved like the fact that they had like this, especially in an era at that time, there was like not a lot of games that went out of their way to develop like a side mechanic that like they never really tell you about, but it's actually pretty good. And that was like, you had to like get gas. You had to like go up to a thing, hit a button to like prompt the guy to tell someone to fill up his tank, and that whole thing. But Mafia 2 is a long game, and it's not fast. It's a very slow-paced, hey, we're going to spend most of our time slowly walking down a hallway, talking to your boy, and a bunch of random characters that are all going to die, and they're all going to betray you at some point, despite the whole tenets of Mafia, whatever, is like, we're a family, it's loyalty at all costs, even if it's your shitty brother Kenny or some shit, you know? And in the Mafia games, it's like, well, what if everyone betrayed you and there was no loyalty, and maybe we have one friend who's maybe too loyal, and yeah. I do love that Lone told me though that the guy, like the best friend of the person in Mafia 2, his son is Colt, the guy from Mafia 3, which is just like, it does seem like a reach for them to be like, fuck it, make it make sense. make a sequel. But that is kind of rad if you know how like fucking bloodthirsty and violent the protagonist of Mafia 3 is. And then you contrast that with like the pretty gung-ho, violence-oriented but yet charming. It sucks though, because the kid didn't get any of the charm of the dad. And that was one of the more charming characters in the game. Mafia 2, the best friend, the chunky monkey. I can't think of his name. One who looks like he got shot at the end of the previous game, but I don't know. Lone was saying that apparently he lives and he's in the ending of Mafia 3. I have faith in Rocksteady. Lone says, I have faith in Rocksteady. They proved that they can make good games and the Arkham series. Yeah, well, that's a great point, man, that nobody mentions. And I know people are like, I was about to say, I know people are sick and tired of the live service elements, like live service games. But then there are also other people, maybe I'm alone in this, but I got to experience like live service games when they were pretty damn good. I remember playing Destiny 1, and right when you got like past the first couple months of every developer just trying to find their feet and realizing, holy shit, this is a lot. The only one I've seen able to do it like really well is Fortnite. Even if you hate the game, they've like consistently like changed the map, added weapons, fucking went crazy, added like brand new animation chains, all that stuff. So as much as I want to say I know people are sick of the live service games, there are also people like me who actually hasn't jumped into a live service game and would love if there was a game that had content that I really liked, like a formula that I enjoyed, that kept delivering. Do I think it is fucking weird as shit that the model of we're going to continue to update the game and add different things is kind of plugged in to 4 characters, essentially, and maybe they'll add more, but it's kind of strange nevertheless, you know? I would, like, in a game like Destiny, which is a brand new IP with a brand new story, with, like, they can do whatever they want. That makes sense that it's a live service, endlessly iterative game. But then you have this, and you're like, why choose, like, an anchored down property that's also, like, a side property, like fucking Suicide Squad? Like, not a lot of people know Suicide Squad, as opposed to, like, Batman. But anyways, point to Lone, what do you call it, Arkham City. No one really gave a shit about, no one really had faith in a Batman video game until Arkham Asylum, I should say. And they killed that shit, you know what I mean? So, like, you have a little faith, maybe. At least let them fail, you know? I think they earned that much from nailing the last 2 games, I think. Also, I seen a comparison the other day. It was like the shitty game that came out from the DC game verse. And it was Arkham City, and Arkham City still looks fucking immaculate. Like the most beautiful game you've ever seen ever. When it rains, golly, you see like the water like come off of the black suit and shit. Whew. What's good, Panda? Panda popping in and saying, sup, Grin? Sup, Panda? How are you? Panda says, I'm watching from the VR. Oh, cool. Am I in a little box? I'm in a cute little box. It's awesome, man. Man, if they can ever find a way to like make it so that there's like a thing that you can wear with your headset that is actually like a breathable self adjusting kind of like heat and moisture metrics, sounds crazy, then that'd be great. Every type of like face shield that I've had with my VR headset, I'm like, I couldn't choose to be in here for more than like 7. Like I'm on the computer for a long time. Like I'm on the computer sometimes editing for like 5 hours. I don't know if I could have that on my, and I'd have like bruise lines on my face. I don't know. That's tough. But when you're grinding a video game, yeah, it may make sense. Also, I did say I never really experienced a VR, like I haven't experienced a live service game in a long time. Maybe like 3 years, because I haven't played Genshin in a bit. What was I gonna say? Yeah, but a lot of VR games are in a weird way live service, in a like kind of a strange way. Like they're constantly updating their engine. It's like you buy a VR game and you're watching it be developed for like years, and it's not quite like live service in the sense of like, here's a massive fucking thing. Like I've been watching the dev of H3, and I was under the impression that like the thing he was talking about for like 6 months was out. And he like releases parts of it, but he still hasn't released like the main thing that he's working on. You're like, fuck, that takes a long time. But he's also one guy. like hopefully he had a team if he had the live service element. Lone says, I just want to play Smexic Clown. You want to play Harlequin? I wonder what the skins are going to be, man. I'm a little worried about the skin stuff, because I really have yet to see a video game where they have said, hey, every single update, and how do I say this properly? Say if this game comes out, and this is like the right way to do it, at least what I would think would be the right way to do it. If you say, okay, we're going to have this live service game, we're going to basically release cosmetic skins, and maybe down the line we'll release like other different types of like customization that can empower you. Sure. Maybe we'll release like a DLC, and we'll do it that way as well. Whatever. But I've yet to see a video game where when they release like a new update with like a new thing to do, and then they don't just like completely waterboard paid skins. Like 90% of the new content is paid skins for you to buy. And then the content that you get is like the shittiest garbage skin you've ever seen. To me, it would make sense about being like, okay, we're going to release these paid skins. Because it doesn't cost that much to model these skins. There's like thousands of amazing 3D modeler and designers that can go fucking ham. And can bang out one of the, like a really good skin for a character in like a week. Yeah. Anyways, especially if they already have the body metrics and all that stuff down. Anyways, so why do they not just release like a couple of those alongside it? So like, oh, you get some cool, really awesome, you'll want them free skins, and then here's some other ones you can just buy, rather than every single live service game where it's like, oh, there's a new update, you get like one new-ish kind of sort of thing to do, and then they're like, 90% of the update though is paid cosmetics, and you're like, why are people not playing our game anymore? Why are they calling us greedy? And you're like, what the fuck, dude? Ugh. Anyways, just talked about how I'm okay with live service games, and also, fucking Panda says, you are in a cute little box. That's awesome. Also, what happened to your hands? Didn't notice before. I was born basically with it's like an enigma type thing. They have no reason for it. I wish it could have been like, oh, something was happening, alcohol, whatever. None of that. Just weird shit in my baby stage, I guess, in the womb, whatever. Hands didn't grow enough. Think of your hands, except if it was literally the Scary Movie meme, except not quite as mangled. Just think of like your hands, but like missing most of the bones that make up the digits of your pointer finger. So you have like 3 bones in your pointer finger. I got 1, and then in one finger I got 2. And we're playing VR, and it's very hard, but we're doing our best. But yeah, I was just born that way. Simple answer. I wish I had a cool answer. Fucking did it doing something stupid. At least there'd be a story rather than, yeah, just the hands we dealt. I hope it isn't. No, it's all good. I've had it my whole life. I don't think it's any issue. Yeah. Lone says, no, Grin, I haven't played Mafia 2 in years. Almost a day. Oh, I thought you said you were playing through one of the Mafia games. Maybe it was Mafia 1. Okay, in that case, yeah, you're just going through the trilogy. All right. Now, one online request. My boss at work wanted a piece of her husband. Ooh, that's awesome. That's so cool, man. That is the thing that I do find there is a beautiful aspect of life in that way, is if you work. I always found it kind of annoying. What is going on in the gameplay that we're watching? Why is the Green Lantern here now? I'm fucking... Why is the Flash here now? Oh, it's a museum. Oh, I see. Jesus. Anyways, sorry. Stop looking at the screen. Look at the thing of what you're saying. That was one of the things that I think is beautiful. That I hear a lot of people sometimes like call. They're like, oh, I have work friends, but I don't know. I still find that it's like you build up. You spend so much time with those people. You're bound to come up with some sort of connection with those people. You know, at least I think. So when I hear Lone talk about like how his what do you call it, his boss is basically commissioning him a present for the husband, seems like a really nice dynamic where you can talk about your hobbies and ask for things and favors, and it's not a problem, you know, which is lovely. Bandit says, oh, when you manage really well, because in BS streams I didn't see anything weird, or you're doing good. Yeah, do my best. I feel like it's sometimes it's really like nothing, like easy breezy, and then other times it's like fuck. And I try to tell you guys sometimes when I'm in like VR, when like there's a reason why I'm not doing something that in my head I want to do. Like right now I want to like quickly jump and throw my gun around, you know, do all this weird shit, but I have this like weird makeshift claw thing I have on my headset so I can reach the grab button. And sometimes that grab button, like the little thing, starts to basically yaw, like left and right, and then I end up missing the button. So I'm like, I want to do the thing in my head, but my body can't do it, unfortunately. I imagine this only gets worse with age, but still. We're making it okay right now. Lone says, yeah, I noticed that during my playthrough of Mafia 2, at the start is going at a snail's pace. When later parts is kind of, yeah. I just find like Mafia, there are moments where it's extremely fast, like when I also don't feel like Mafia has enough gunfights, but yeah, it's like moments where you're going really fast, but there's like the slower, how do I put this? Mafia's slowest moment is the slowest moment you've ever seen, basically. So the slowest slow is so ungodly slow. Like the baseline of slow, it's an eternity long in Mafia. Like walking through a hallway, and then you're like, I'm going to activate sprint, and then the Mafia guy is just like, he's going like maybe like one step faster, but he's just rocking his chest back and forth. Like you've never seen someone do the laziest jog you've ever seen. And yeah, and then you're in the middle of a gunfight and the same shit. He's just like, you're like, man, there's bullets flying at us. What the fuck? Alone says, I also hope this game is cross. I think it is. I think it's gonna be crossplay. Yeah, I think every AAA game now, especially like this, which is trying to be like live service, especially one that's been delayed to hell and back. Yeah, I think it's gotta be. It'd be shocking to me if it wasn't. I also, Super says, I think some people are scared of support live. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Super, like I agree with them. It's the issue is like I've seen a shard. Like a crack, like this fragment, I guess, of a live service game where it feels fucking awesome. You come home every day and there's something new for you to do. You jump on, it's a communal thing, so you have your friends waiting for you. You have reasons to jump back in. They're meaningful, they're challenging, they're interesting, they're odd. There's these events that like spur up the community, like Sparrow Racing back in Destiny. And all of that has been like completely lost, and now it's just a shit ton of like, we've updated the things you can buy again. So it's frustrating because like I do agree with the people who say like live service games, I don't want to support them because they're shitty, they're scummy, it doesn't result in like the best thing for the game and all that stuff. I've seen a lot of them fail like that, but I still have like that memory, that core memory, where every day I came home from school and I was so excited to play Destiny. I was so excited to talk to my friends in this game that things were happening in. And I was able to like sink deeper into a game with every coming month because they released new lore, and then they released this big thing that came up, and then there were channels that like started up about talking about the weird lore of the game, and then there was new weapons that were coming out. How do you get this exotic? Like there are these things that like when a live service game really works, it really fucking works. Like imagine if you did like Fortnite right now and you were a kid. Can you imagine? Every single day you get home from school, you jump on with your friends in a 4-player game and you're talking to a bunch of people. You have like endless content constantly for free. You're not paying it monthly like WoW people did. You're for free, and then your parents give you like a fucking a gift card every birthday and Christmas for a V-Bucks, and you're looking like a weirdo, but it's you. You're expressing yourself. You're hanging out with your friends. You're making new friends. Like, I can't even imagine how good that feels. I do think Fortnite should probably give something other than Save the World, other than Battle Royale with or without building. I think they should probably be like, here's a new thing for you to do, like a questing system or some shit, you know? But yeah, kind of like Destiny has the Crucible. I was thinking it'd be cool if they had like a PvE setting as well. Maybe some would argue that's Save the World, but I think most people would be happy to have more to do. Lone says, I will say I'm not a fan of the classic skins that you get if you pre-order the game. Something looks awful. Yeah, I think that some of the skins look a little like, I don't like them. They look abrasive in a way. And I know it's cool because like I think they're not meant for you or me. They're meant for the people who are like the OSG of fans who are like, oh my god, I know that, nostalgia buy, etc. But fuck, sometimes it's too much. Also, Lucas says, do you still play Let It Die? I haven't played it probably for like a year and a half, because we played it for 2 years and there's nothing really new to play, so I don't play it anymore because there's nothing new to play. But yeah, if Death Verge comes out, I may give it a whirl. Maybe. It's not that I hate the game, it's just that I played it for so long and I've kind of, I don't know what to do with it anymore, you know? Also, I don't want to like keep sending signals to the community of Let It Die or YouTube for that matter, that I'm still going to be a Let It Die channel, because I really have been kind of a snob about VR recently. I just find it extremely wonderful. I'm in my like a VR glow up stage of like, I find I have endless content. It all looks really cool and I can't wait to play more of it. And I'm hoping that in 2024, when Apple releases their shit and then Google and Samsung release their like collaborative headset as well, that everyone catches up to me. I'm hoping. Well, that's the gambit, essentially. And if not, I still love the little community that we've made that, you know, plays kind of all games as well as VR. Super says, does your hands affect how you play games? Not normal video games at all. I mean, I just kind of do like a weird palm grip when I play video games. The only thing that like it sucks for like Oculus Quest 2. This is like one of the reasons why I was considering getting an Oculus Quest 3, or the Quest 3, I should just say, the Quest 3, is because the Quest 3 actually has a smaller controller. So like my biggest issue is, so long as my finger can like reach something, I'm fine. I got like absurdly strong hands. Like I know it's kind of like a meme within the like scary movie, listen to my strong hand. I get that, but it's just true. I can take like a 50-pound kettlebell and do a snatch, which is where you hold it all the way above your head and then you throw it down, and you're basically throwing a cannonball, which is just trying to rip out of your hands. And I can do that for reps. So my hands are kind of innately pretty strong, even though there's not a lot to work with. But what do you call it? The problem for me is that with the Quest 3 controller, like I can't reach the button. So like if I could show you guys my little jerry-rigged nonsense. My left hand can reach my controller. So this is what my left hand controller looks like right here. Just normal. I can, my one finger can reach this button. Barely, but it can reach it, and I have no issue with my left hand. We're good to go. We're rocking, we're rolling, it's good. My right hand is like significantly smaller than this one. So this is what we have to MacGyver. This is a controller. It looks very hard to read, but there's a little thing here, this little hook that goes around and tries to hit that button. And it's very weird. It's this. See? It moves. So that's the jerry-rigged nonsense that I had to make myself. And God, I hope the Quest 3 controllers are just small enough. Or I don't even need it to be small enough. I just can't have the button to be all the way on the other side. If it was just a little bit closer to like the middle, I'd be fucking smooth sailing. But unfortunately, no dice. So that is the weird jerry-rigged nonsense thing that I have to rock, which we get by. All right, some people are born without an arm. All right, I'm happy that I got some digits. Ikem says, oh, I read that. Ikem says, do you still play? I think it's the same comment. Yeah, I think I replied to both of those. Lone says, he got it. Lone got me. Super says, yeah, I think that fun of live service has been lost to the grind a bit too much. Yeah, it's true too. But yeah, I think it's also like, again, it's the kind of same topic that we talked about when it comes to, why am I got a bubble in my chest? When it comes to Suicide Squad. Or like one of the things that's frustrated me a lot about like reviewers, and no reviewer seems to do this, but just ask yourself the question, who is this made for? Now sometimes it's like it's the designer's fault and they try to make it for everyone and it's basically for no one. It's like the most inoffensive but yet uncreative game ever, right? But then there's games that to me very much seem like sometimes they're like, you're just not the demo that's going to enjoy this. Like they're the type of person that's going to love a Starfield and the type of person that's going to hate Baldur's Gate and vice versa. They're basically attacking different demos or viewers or buyers for what they're creating for. And that's okay. The issue is when people basically treat like, oh, everything is made for me and therefore everything I should judge is wild. Because you should be like, no, what is this? What is the goal of the designer for this game? Oh, they want to make a really good roguelike action RPG. Okay, if you tend to like all those games, then maybe you like this one. And yeah, but on the topic of the whole live service thing, why did I go on that? Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, so for me, the reason why I brought up like certain games being different, being aimed at certain people. I don't think I am the demographic that Destiny is made for anymore, nor do I think I'm the demographic for Fortnite to be made anymore, because I don't have endless hours to play video games anymore. But you know who does? Younger audiences, which we were all. So like I think that's like the live service elements are also aiming for those kids who have endless amounts of time and want to spend it on something fun, goofing off with their friends, you know? But to your point, I think we could have it all. Like this is one of those situations, Super, where I think everyone could win. Where like you could theoretically make it so that like I don't feel like just because I'm not giving my whole life to this video game, I still feel like I'm a part of the community. I'm still feel like I'm able to get what I need out of the thing. And then if you want like bonus shit, like kind of like clutter, like this is something that Genshin always did a pretty good job about, where like everything was front loaded. So like if you only had like 2 hours to participate in this event, you could mostly get everything that you could kind of want. But if you were a kid who wanted to get everything, like even just like the like uncommon resources that you could just grind for within a couple days, yeah, you could do that. So that to me is a nice, like you could have a balance of like, you don't have to grind all the time, but for those who want to grind, you can grind, you know? Lone says, is the stream buffering for anyone else? I haven't got a notification yet, but sometimes it'll yell at me if it's starting to break. Please. Dang, the whole controller is definitely an adept and overcome. Yeah, it looks like a cybernetic amalgamation of wires. It's funny though because like it's the difference between this much, like this hand I can reach, and that's all I need, baby. I can do a lot with this much. But when I don't have this much, then we gotta get creative. We gotta start using tools. I mean tools. Anyways, yes. Point being, we get by. Again, hopefully the Quest 3... Okay, here's the thing, man. One of the things that shocked me was basically a couple of months back, there was a game that came out that I really want to actually play. I actually kind of feel bad once I tell you guys the story. I kind of feel bad about it, but I ended up basically buying, or being really interested in buying this video game. It was a VR game, but it was standalone on the Quest. And I thought, damn it. And I basically made like a thumbnail. Yeah, those skins look terrible. Those skins look terrible on you. Anyways, let me streamline this story a little bit. One of the things that surprised me about the VR kind of like YouTube community and things like that is how I was so used to be conditioned to like, oh, you need to have 200,000 subscribers with maybe like a concurrent viewer base of like 10,000 minimum, in order to basically be able to like get games earlier, all those kinds of things. Well, in the VR community, what shocked me was that actually most of the VR channels have anywhere from like, it's like a barometer, anywhere from like 1,000 to 20,000 is really good, and then it's like 1 million or 5 million. Because like there's no middle ground really. It's like, yeah, it's a whole thing. Anyways, so I ended up making this mistake where I ended up titling my stream Doom, if Doom was a VR game, basically. And it was talking about this new upcoming game called, I can't think of what it's called. It's like Chainbreaker or I can't remember what it was called. But anyways, it was basically like this game where you could like whip around with like these Spider-Man like chains, and then you were just killing zombies or like demons on like a spaceship, kind of like Obelisk, Dead Space type vibe. You just kill shit in this area and you go to town. But I made a mistake and didn't realize that, and this is the mistake of all Quest shit at this point, standalone is impossible to record gameplay for, one, and two, it basically makes it so that like Meta is refusing to take your money, even if you're wanting just to like render the game on your like fucking $2,000 PC. Like they refuse to allow you to like, oh, this is standalone, and we're also going to give you like the shitty graphics of standalone, but that's only if you want to like play it on your PC. Now at this point, honestly, they're becoming comparable because the chips inside the headset and the computers are actually getting pretty good, and yeah, it's not the worst converged right? But they won't let you buy like the game on Oculus Quest Store, still supporting Meta, but play it on your PC. It's weird. Even if it's at the same low graphics as the headset. It doesn't make any sense. It's fucking annoying. Anyways, so I ended up being like, well shit, I don't want to take down my video stream that I said that we were going to play this game. So then I reached out to the developers on Twitter, just as kind of like the biggest long shot. I've never done this in the entirety of my career on YouTube at all. I just don't feel like I'm at a place where I should demand anything, or I've done enough, etc. But I reached out to this people and I said, hey, this is my circumstance, this is my subscriber count, the views that I have, etc. This is the circumstance that I'm in, etc. I actually don't want the game for free in any way. I was wondering if I could just get it like at a discount, or even, actually I don't even think I said discount. I just said I was just hoping that I could get the game on PC. Now, what I also found out was that there were some content creators that were filming the game, and how they did that was the devs actually made like a Steam version that was for like content coverage. This is also why I know that it's not that bad. To like you can run VR games that are meant for like standalone play that are like lower graphics on your PC because it's lower graphics. Why wouldn't it be able to run that? So you can do that, but they refuse to do that. It's fucking annoying. Anyways, so they gave me access to that thing, and it shocked me about like, wow. Even though I don't have like as much of a subscriber base or anything like that I've seen, to them it was like, oh, that's enough. And I was like, oh shit. So in my head, I'm like, maybe I should reach out and ask. Maybe, I don't know. I still feel weird about me. I guess it doesn't hurt. You can't lose anything by asking. But I was gonna ask Matt if I could get the Quest 3 at a discount, maybe. But I don't, because I don't feel right about like not paying for the thing that I'm gonna be talking about and covering to some extent, you know. But it would be nice not having to, like, I don't have a lot of residual income anyway, you know, like that's a big bullet to bite. But anyways, it's just one of those interesting things I found out about the VR community of like, actually, the devs and the community is kind of small and yet still profitable enough to where people are willing to work with like smaller channels, which is really nice, kind of a wholesome thing. Especially with this day and age where it seems like every company is like, you need to have this and this and this, and yeah. Lone, is the stream balanced out or is it still choppy? Because let me know. I hope it's not. I hope it's not falling apart. No one's commented anything in a little bit, so I wonder if it's just broken. But maybe people will just be vibing as well. But what was I about to talk about? Oh yeah, also man, yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just a rambly nightmare right now, but I'm so mad at Meta, man. I want to make a video about this, with trying to be as like relaxed as I can. It's all good now. Okay, one of the games that I was extremely excited for was the Assassin's Creed Nexus, an Assassin's Creed VR game. Over the moon excited. Another game that I was extremely excited for was Vampire the Masquerade. Not Bloodlines. It's something else. Vampire the Masquerade VR game, basically. Super excited for it. Both of those games came out in the last month, maybe the last 3 weeks. All of them are basically owned by Meta, it seems, or released on the Meta Quest standalone, okay? That's what we just talked about. And yet, everyone who's on PC who wants to maybe record the game or anything like that cannot. They cannot play it. They are stuck. And oh my fuck, is it just... it's just so painful. Like, I can't even describe to you guys how, like, I want to give Meta money for the game that looks very interesting and worth the money, but I do not want to play it in standalone where my headset's going to be like burning out of its thing because it doesn't have enough battery life, and it's also like doing so much processing power. It's just crazy. Like, every person in this modern age has some form of internet access, whether it's their phone, whether it's their iPad, whether it's their PC, whether it's their MacBook. So why they can't find some way to do some of the rendering or processing on that thing is wild to me. Or even just like allow PC players to support you as well. They make up like 30% of the market. Like, I know it's not everything, but it's still a percentage that if you're buying a game, yes. Also, PC players predominantly make content on your game, which is advertising for your game. There's a reason why your games are failing, because no one can actually show other people how fun they are. Besides like 2 people that you've vetted that do fucking Let's Plays that get a tenth of the viewer base that every other channel that just has fun in the game does. It's crazy. Anyway, rant aside. Super says, sorry, that whole story is wholesome, I guess. What do you mean? I was just going to say, oh, yeah, I was surprised that the dev actually reached out and gave me a code for the game to be able to play on Steam. And I really do kind of feel shitty about it because I had such aspirations to like go back and like showcase the game, cover it a bunch. But then I ended up getting caught in like the weeds of like researching stuff because my videos just were not doing really what I wanted them to do and all, and I was very lost. So then I was like, oh fuck, I'll do some research, and then I ended up getting like sucked down the rabbit hole for like 2 months doing research and stuff like that. And yeah, yeah, rough. Alone says, but Grin, I 100% finished Spider-Man and got the platinum trophy. Okay, so Lone. We're not doing spoilers necessarily, but do you have any like kind of hint at why there was such a commotion where people were like, you're either going to love the third act of Spider-Man or you're going to hate it? Could you give me a hint at what that might have been related to? Like, what was the thing that people were like, I hate it? Like, did they burn the Venom suit? Did Peter die? I don't know what, like, the thing that people are saying, like, could be polarized. Maybe it was the Mary Jane's, like, stealth missions got really plentiful, and people were like, no! That's really strange that they kept those in the game. I think there was, like, unanimous hatred for the slow-paced nature of, like, these stealth scenes. When you just go from, like, blitzkrieg everyone with Miles or Peter. But yeah, man, that Spider-Man game, man, I hope one day I can experience it. Do you think one day we'll ever be in a place where we can just play video games and it's not like exclusives, this and that, you know? At one point in my naivety, I thought that Xbox is gonna be that saving grace of like, oh wait, what if we just buy into a mass platform that just basically gives you games? And then they basically charged you for like the Xbox membership. And when Starfield came out, they were like, yeah, we still need you to buy, if you want the game, you're gonna have to still pay $60, or you're gonna be able to play the game in a week. And to me, I was just like, man, I hate that shit so much. Like, I can't describe, because it's so important to play the game when everyone else is playing it, to make yourself feel like you're a part of this, like, quest that's happening, this thing that's going on. Like, you're kneecapping your momentum for what I don't think is going to actually end up being more money for you. It was just, ugh. And like for me, I don't have a Xbox membership anymore. Like not that I'm opposed to it, but just that I bought Starfield and thought, well, now I'm not doing it anymore, you know. Whereas if they did essentially get me to like they gave me Starfield day one, I would probably been continuing to pay like a monthly revenue service, whatever it's called, monthly money. Because I'm like, well, maybe I'm going to play it this month. Well, maybe I'm going to play it this month. Well, maybe I'm going to play it this month. And now I'm just like, well, I bought it. And now I'm never going to touch, I'm never going to pay for the monthly thing. So you don't have me on the monthly revenue thing. Lone says, no one died per se. I feel like it has to do with a thing The things that ending foreshadows. Okay. Interesting. Because, yeah, people say that, like, the third act. So not necessarily the ending, but I wonder maybe just the pacing of the third act is, like, way different. Huh. I'm curious what that is. I don't know what to... Now I wish I just had spoilers, but it's fine. Let's keep it quiet for now. My body. We'll give it a couple months before I just say, fucking rip off the Band-Aid, tell me. My chest. Should we look at some memes? Man, I keep seeing gameplay of the gosh darn... Where is it? Let me show you guys. Full face cam. Will I be able to see it? Maybe. Subscriber. Let me see. I want to see if I can find the gameplay of the game that I've been wildly excited for. Where are you? Come on, Wolfie. Here we go. Tell me this game doesn't look absolutely fire, all right? And yet you can't play it. Not only because you don't have a VR headset. This is like weird memes that he does. But yeah. You can like open stuff, you're immersed. Man, you guys can see such a clearer image than me. I see like blackness, like it's just super dark. Let's skip a little bit. All right, OBS having a struggle bus, I guess. Okay, we picked a bad level. It's like a night level, but look at that. Look at that, you can do parkour, jumpy jumps. Ooh, this is, I guess, the Assassin's Creed, the one Fluff played. I can't think of it, the Egyptian one. No, not the Egyptian one, the Greece one. Is this the one? Look at this, dude. I want to play this so bad. We're playing Kenway, I think. He's fishing. No, he's shooting a bow. Maybe this is Connor, I don't know. But it just looks great, and I can't play it. Because it's standalone quest. And I don't know how to fucking play it. Like, you can't record it, I mean, on Quest. That's what I mean. Look at this. Wait, no. Pull back a little bit. Pull back. Come on. A little bit forward. Look at that. Look at that jungle gym for you to go play around in. The parkour looks a little bit like you're a spectral ghost, kind of just hovering. But still, you're like just freaking crib walking. Oh. But it looks pretty clean, dude. You can do little jumpies. I wonder how the actual climbing is. Like, can you just climb on anything? Or is it like, no, you have to grab a ledge. I think there's grab points. He's not being the most stealthy, but here we go. Oh, look at that. Right up a wall. Right up a wall. The hand gestures kind of snap into place. I wish a VR game had like an animation that slowly drew your hands to the grab point. Instead of just like, like a falcon claw. But dude, I can't wait. One day, maybe, we'll be able to play a video game that I want to play that's VR, and it's not, and it will accept my money. Super says, so GRINN, do you have a PS5? I do not, Super. I do not have a PS5. I think I've abandoned the console era. All right, yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest, it was real close though. Like, I can only imagine what would have happened if I would have gotten a PS5 and then like gotten into VR somehow. Like, I've tried it at a friend's house and I was like, oh, PS5 VR is happening, and then I wanted to buy it and I bought that. They could have gotten me that way too. But no, for me, man, it's so weird because I don't even know how to describe it. To me, like, PC offers me so many different like ways to make content, and that's kind of what I love. Like, as much as I really adore video games, I adore anime, I adore all those things. What I enjoy about things that I enjoy is talking about those things that I enjoy and like building atop of them, almost, you know? Like having a weird discussion about how an anime is so brilliant and wonderful when it's probably just a lewd marketing strategy, but they somehow hit the mark for me, you know, whatever it could be. Or like, for instance, VR is a great example where for VR, I can have I have endless mods at my fingertips, which is wildly awesome. Like the fact that I can basically create like storylines, perspective changes, goofy like crazy effects with guns and NPCs. Like, it's just for creation, it makes it so much more interesting to me. And I don't know, to me, PlayStation hasn't really brought it this season, or like this. Recently we've got, like, to me the biggest heavy hitters for PlayStation is God of War, and what is it called? The game that just came out, Spider-Man. Spider-Man, to me, as much as I think it'd be a really fun time, I don't know if it's like on the same level as God of War for me. But yeah, I just don't think I have that need to get a PS5. Kind of like, there's no game that makes me feel like I have to get it, and even if it does, it's usually like one game. And so many of these companies, PlayStation included, are not willing to not make the most amount of money possible for 1 month at a time. So what essentially, like, same thing with Quest, where like every single game that you can play now, you can play on Quest 2. Sorry, every single game right now you can play on PS5. I think there's like 2 games that came out, maybe. That like you can only play on PS5 and not play on PS4. But even then, I don't think there's any really, you know. So I haven't found that thing. But man, also when you just have, like, for me, I'm gearing up to build a PC again. I'm gearing up to take my current PC and morph it into a stronger PC so I can actually cover VR games without having to chew through so much lag. So I'm going to try to start to learn about how to, like, make a PC, what I should do, what I should get, what's the best deal for things. Should probably take months. But like, that to me is way more exciting because I know I'm going to get more out of it. But I think there's like a grace period of when you own a PC of like unraveling what it means to really own a PC. Like, I had a PC for a long time, and one of the things I was always curious about is modding. Fallout 4 came out, and I was like, hell yeah, let me mod it to shit, and I did, and it was tons of fun. But I didn't really ever like try to really do like the modding thing. Like, I just kind of hit install and was like, good enough, and it broke occasionally, but I was like, good enough. But then you actually get to, like, for instance, this whole VR thing where, like, you're like, oh no, this mod can go into this, I can build this ID with that, and it just makes it so much more exciting. But I think everyone will eventually get to that point where, like, oh, my PC can do so much. But it is kind of like one of those things where, like, a PS4 can do some stuff, a lot of good stuff, but there's definitely a cap on it. Like, you can feel, okay, there's no way I can do that. Whereas your PC is kind of, it's on you to understand every single thing that this thing can do, and then for you to push into that. But if you never really do that, then I don't think you're ever going to get that. But everything I hear about people talk about, like, outside of the price difference, like, it's like you either buy a PC once for 10 years, and you'll be good. You'll be like fucking smooth sailing. You get the best of the best. Probably have to drop $2,000. Or you'll have to buy like a PS5 Slim, and all that kind of stuff, and you'll always kind of be at a little bit, like, as the years go on, you'll find that bottleneck is tighter and tighter around your throat, and usually they'll like release a PS5 Pro, which is now like, so you're basically paying like $1,500 probably for your PS5 throughout the course of its life cycle, and you still have diminishing returns. It's still not able to get to PC land. But that's if you're willing to build your whole PC and shit like that. But I don't know. I am a PC snob a little bit. But yes. But yeah. Alone says he also bought one for God of War. What? No, I didn't buy a PC for God of War. I was about to. Out of all the games that was getting me close to buying a PS5, it was God of War. But I never actually bought it. We ended up playing God of War on my PS4, not my PS5. Super says, yeah, okay. I didn't get to play. God of War looked amazing on the PS1 as well, or the PS4. The not the newest gen PS4 or new PS game, whatever the console. Super says, I had a friend that kind of let his PC rest for a while and got a PS5, but he doesn't stream or make videos like, yeah, well, again, that's the thing as well. Like, to me, like, even outside of streaming, there's things like modding your game. There's things like having like programs that you're interested in learning and all this stuff. But if you only look at your PS5 or like whatever that could be, like your Xbox could also be an interchangeable thing, as basically like an entertainment station, like basically like TV, like it's just a TV modem. Like, nobody expects a TV modem to like do everything, right? It's just you hit go, you change channels, you're watching TV. So yeah, to me, like, I think there are some people who don't want the chaos of it. But I think that whole argument of like it being chaotic, or it being like, you know, a PC is like so much more complicated than a console, I think is actually like PCs have gone out of their way to become more simple. to where now I think it's not even a comparison anymore, you know? Outside of, again, you will be playing slightly more, but you'll also be getting significantly more, like, now, not like 5 years down the line, now. Like, you download mods that have, like, 4K textures and shit. Again, I am also biased because I haven't got a PS5, so maybe the PS5 is like a life-changing experience. To me, I think a PS5 is going to be like what it was like a PS4, except with like the ability to touch 60 FPS at times, and those kinds of things. But also, PS5 has like a built-in community that you've been able to track with for years, and all that stuff. So yeah, I definitely understand that, like the appeal of a PS5 and like consoles. But to me, I just feel like I instead of becoming a console player and a PC player, which I used to be PS5 and then PC. That was my kind of like hybrid. That was what I did, because I needed to edit and all that stuff. It just made sense. But now I've become a PC player and a VR player, which is like VR is its own console at this point. Like you're spending like $500, you're spending $800 on like a really good headset. You're spending like what do you call it? $400 on like an okay headset that's good enough for you to experience it. Kind of like a PS5 to a PS5 Pro or whatever it could be, you know. Speaking of mods, I have a weird game story. Let me read this right. Speaking of mods, I have a weird game story group of modders made a Devil May Cry themed mod for Kingdom Hearts 2 called Nobody May Cry. Nobody May Cry? What the fuck is that? What is this? I said almost. Oh, almost not also. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Yeah, my mind just glazed over that word. Sorry. Yeah. I was like, I thought Lone was there the whole time. Maybe did Lone the whole time think I was playing on a PS5? Surely that can't be the case. That must be wrong. Super says, but the main thing my friend said he likes about the PS5 is that it is way nicer for him just to be able to sit down. Yeah, see, but that's crazy to me. It's like I've heard this whole thing, but I also think that people are like, what time did he get into being a PC player? Because I think he's holding on to like an old concept of what playing on PC was. Now it like everything is automated in the same way. Like how hard it is to play on PC is you can sit down and you can play. Like I think the issue is that most people don't view their PC like that, but now it's even easier to kind of do that with your PC. Basically, if you're able to, like most people have a desk and they have a PC, and their desk is for doing business work or something like that, and they also kind of game on it. But that's because you're sitting in a hard chair, leaning over, and playing a video game. You can easily take like a cord, or even take like a Bluetooth adapter or something like that. It's like they like goes through Wi-Fi and pings it to your what is it called? To your like your TV, and literally it becomes like you can sit down on a couch, you can grab a controller that's permanently locked into your Steam account, and sit there and play. Like it's as easy. But I do think that there's a lot of people that do have that conception of like, it's just, it's simple having a PS5. I don't have to worry about anything. And I think it's largely because people don't want to go through like the slight hoop of having your PC basically by your couch. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the thing which is easy. Like if you have a PC and you have a console, it's obvious where the console goes and where the PC goes. The PC usually goes by a desk and the console usually goes by the couch. The thing is I would just argue that you could just get to your PC and ping it to your couch, essentially. But most people are like, it's too much for me. Like, it's really not. It's really not for me. Yeah. Or you can just literally have your PC be, like, beside your couch. Like, right underneath your TV. There's even, like, display things that make it smaller and stuff like that. Or not noticeable. But yeah. I'm not trying to convert anyone to PC land here. I've heard that thing for a long time about how PCs are just more complicated than Xboxes or PS4s, and I think it's not that way anymore. It was that way. You have to do like driver updates and all that shit for your PC, which you also have to do updates on your PS4. So I don't know why that's, yeah, that's not, yeah. A while ago, maybe like 5 years ago. Yeah, I think man, if you think about how fucking crazy, how many things have changed in 5 years, it's disgusting. It's crazy. COVID kind of took our breath away a little bit, so maybe more like 2 years. Super says, but I also switched up maybe a year ago. I switched up to PS5. I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's tough, man, because maybe I'm underthinking it, or maybe like I've just gotten used to things. But like I can't think of in my head. Like I've had both. I've had a PS5. I've had every console almost. I've had a PS5. I had an Xbox One. I had an Xbox. I had Xbox 360. I had PS2, PS1. We've always had consoles. We have three brothers who like play games, and yeah. So I've experienced all of that, and I kept hearing that the whole time. Like when I was getting into PC gaming, asked my brother, and I was like, yeah, people say that like it's just so much more complicated and all that stuff. And he's like, no, like it used to be where like in order to get a PC game going, you had to like get a disc, you had to hope to God that it was compatible, like the devs accounted for your unique system. But now Steam has basically made everything so streamlined that it's like it can easily scan your hardware and be like, okay, yeah. And yeah, and as long as you don't have like a truly Frankensteinian PC, you can run most shit at an easy swish of your finger, I guess. And I say this as a person who usually plays all my games either in VR, which is with like your own weird controllers, or with a controller. Like I use a PS5 controller plugged into my PC, and I'm basically playing on a PS5, except it has 80% more graphics, 80% more frame rate bonus, all that stuff. And my PC is not even good. My PC is like a shitty quick buy because my previous PC broke. That's why I want to upgrade. What I'm saying, Super, is you should either A, get a PC. Probably don't do that because your friend base is on PS4, PS5. Or you could get the PSVR and we could talk about VR together because no one talks about it with me. Okay, I got like 2 people popping every stream and I'm like, okay, a person. I'm waiting on loan for me to passively like the Harry Potter worm tongue him basically and be like, hey, loan, buy the PS5. Get money for Christmas and then buy the PS5 and maybe not like waifu cups for like a couple months. And you'll be able to experience this crazy shit. Ah! Yeah. I'm mostly memeing, but I am also kind of like every now and again, like, I don't know, man. I just really hope VR works out. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where like, I really hope it's not like always a niche thing for long, you know? I really hope that people give it a try and it's fun and it's goofy and it's engaging. Hey, yeah, because right now it seems like it's still not that, like it's not even that it's far away. Like theoretically, amazing VR experiences can happen. Like mods have shown that easily, but there's just no one investing money in to make that experience. And I kind of get it to some extent. Like there's a game that came out called Hellsweeper. I remember I talked to you guys about it, and I was blown away that it wasn't as like as successful as I thought it would be, because it's like a really decent game actually. Grab it quickly. Just fucking grab it, rip it off. It's not like that. He stabbed him. He killed him and stabbed him. Okay. Anyways, let's look at some memes now. Oh, he's also playing Connor, who is just gargantuan, so it makes sense that, yeah, not Connor's like trying to grab big ass native boy just trying to fucking grab the key in his thick ass fingers. Ain't nothing happening. Let me pull up our Discord. Meme time. It was a Gordon Ramsay meme with Bido. No, with Raiden Shogun. Ooh, did I pin a message? I don't think I did. Shit. God damn it. Fuck. I'm scrolling. Hopefully I'll see something that we haven't seen before. That works. Yeah, that works. Alright, good. Meme time. Ah, my throat. Who? Mulligan. Am I reading that? Nope. Migglin. Migglin. Your name is a wonderful thing to say. Migglin says, there's no way VR doesn't go even more mainstream. I hope so, Mulligan. You and me both. I'm hoping, buddy. That's what I'm planning on and hoping for. Like, I'm building out this channel where I'm trying to make like the most edited, pseudo creative, if I can be so brash, content that I can, all for the hopes that 2024 it starts working good, because we get goddamn. We were getting the Apple headset, which is going to hopefully do a lot for the industry. But the thing that I'm really thinking is going to do it, Apple headset Pro, I don't think is going to actually be. I think it's going to be like a boost to like the novelty of VR. But I think the thing that Samsung and Google are creating right now are going to be the thing that's going to probably be much cheaper and like much more. Just like much more affordable and accessible, and I'm sure they're going to be open to games and stuff like that as well. Whereas I think Apple's going to go out of their way to be like, there's no controllers. We're not putting controllers in this thing. But yeah, I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping. I also am hoping Mulligan, I've said your name like Mulligan. I'm saying it now. I'm sorry forever, Mulligan. Forgive me. Let me know if it actually bothers you. I'll try to make a point. But I was going to say, the thing that I do feel, I heard this content creator that I've subscribed to for a while now. His name is Mateo. But he basically said, like, for such a long time, VR was like really good. Like Half-Life Alyx, we got Half-Life Alyx, we got Boneworks, we got these games that were amazing. We started getting like Arizona Sunshine and things like that, which were these really, really good games, or really, really interesting games at the very least. But then the Quest came out, and like every developer was basically like forced to make for the Quest. Which is good in its own way because it increased the area of access, but it also killed me, man, because the games we ended up getting were like just nothing. It was just like the worst example of what VR oftentimes is, with like a few exceptions of it being kind of okay. Like there was a game that came out called Gorilla Tag, which made use of like childlike graphics and just social elements, and that kind of did well. There was it's just, to me, I really hope, man. I really hope that we can get back to like really crisp VR experiences as well. I think MetaQuest, like, I don't know, Meta's doing stuff that's maybe making things more accessible for people, but it drives me a little nuts because, like, right now, as a PC VR player who owns a Quest 2, it basically just uses it as like a lens. I would love to be able to buy a standalone game like Vampire the Masquerade that just came out, the Assassin's Creed Nexus game that just came out. I would be fine with paying for the standalone, shittier graphics VR experience, and just be able to play it on the MetaQuest store and be able to play the game. Right now, I can't even play the game unless I want to like not record it and play it on my thing. It's just, man, pain in my ass. Anyway, Melvin says, it's nice to see you still streaming. I used to watch your Shadow of War. It's the fucking Shadow of War? Holy shit. Oh, man, that was one of those videos that I was blown away by. I remember that we made that Shadow of War video, and I was like, fuck it, I guess I'll make this weird thing. And it was just like a goofy video. I don't even think it had any point. I think we were trying to basically like make the most, like, do a revenge story basically, and just keep like making the revenge nemesis system keep having to shit out the same guy that we just killed, or something like that, or like we were trying to get a powerful ally. I don't know. Anyways, the point is that we did that for such a long time and we didn't get anywhere out of it, and then that video just like took off compared to like all the other ones I made, and I was like, fuck. what happened? In hindsight, I kind of get an understanding why. It was it's like probably no one else was playing that game, and it was a really like loved game at the time, and yeah. It was also a game that didn't have a lot of like information out about it. I think Joe Raptor also had like a lot of content about the game, and it really fucking did well for his channel, so it makes sense. He was able to see it, unlike me, who was just like, must have been a fun video or something. Mulligan says, I don't see many people getting the Apple headset, but that exposure towards Apple fans is, yes, right, man? Yeah, I agree. I think I'm excited to see what that can actually bring. Also, what is this? I've been seeing this in the corner of my eye. Hi-Fi Rush. Oh, right. Body slams for Forspoken. Forspoken sucks. Dude, man, I would have taken... Forspoken took like millions and millions of dollars to make. I would have taken like 10 of Hi-Fi Rushes. Hell, if you were to take the soul and like the rhythm of Hi-Fi Rush and just plug that into like a magical world like Forspoken, and in a magical world, you have this like punk rocker teen who's just fucking like obliterating people with the sound of like rhythm. Fuck, that'd be rad. Instead, it's actually really cool. It seems like fighting robots, but still. Mulligan says Quest was cool since it was my first. Yeah, it's my first headset too. It still is my first headset. But I think I think the coolest potential is definitely in the higher spec games. Yeah, man. Well, to me, it's tough because. Yeah, it's really tough because again, whenever I want to say that like theoretically, I think all that we need is like a game that's like Skyrim that has like an actual, maybe not Skyrim, that's a little too big, but like a game like Skyrim, maybe like Skyrim if you just cut it in half or cut it into a quarter, and you had like an MMO that you could run around, experience. Maybe you had magic, maybe you had whatever, all these kinds of things. But then you got to actually like mod it and do all that stuff. That we still don't have the game that kind of brings it all together. It's kind of what Bone Works and Bone Lab, what I think it was trying to be, and what I think it's kind of aspiring to be at this point, because they're trying to work on the Marrow engine. But dude, yikes! I don't know. I want to say that like, oh yeah, a game like that would just instantly succeed and do really, really well. But then there's a lot of VR games that just don't really catch people's attention, you know. And funnily enough, the one trend that I've seen where like a lot of really good VR games fail is, sorry for the dogs, is when they actually pay content creators to play their game. And whenever you do that, unless you like talk to the content creator and really know who they are, I always find that content creators that play a game for a sponsor never play it again. I don't know what that is, but I've always noticed that pattern. Like I almost think you should like your sales pitch should be like, I'll play the game for a couple weeks, like a couple months. I'll try to actually push this game and show people what it can offer, rather than just getting your paycheck and being done, you know. But yeah. Mulligan says, man, I was so hooked on the Hi-Fi Rush, man. Hi-Fi Rush is so good, dude. If they ever bring back the Nemesis, you meant the one thing, you meant the Shadow of War. Yeah, man, that was one of the things we talked about as well a couple of weeks ago. But how absolutely frustrating it is. Also, I'll catch up on the YouTube chat in a minute. Sorry, I was gonna say, we talked about how there's so many brilliant systems in so many video games. One of them could be Hi-Fi Rush with its beat system, amazing. Another could be the Nemesis system in Shadow of War. There's so many games that have like these brilliant systems, and then like no one, like they never do anything with them. I think another game that comes to mind is Sunset Overdrive. Is that right? Sunset Overdrive, where it had like beautiful like water and like grind physics and stuff like that, and like a beautiful world that like you could do a lot in without it crashing. Super colorful. You're bouncing off shit. It was awesome. And so many games that have so many strong mechanics. I guess like companies just like chain them up essentially. Like you can't use anything similar to the Nemesis system or fucking sue your ass. Maybe, I don't know, but it sucks that like things like that just go unused because of greed and all that shit. Megan said, dude, Forspoken was hilarious. I was so hyped because of the Unreal. Dude, I was preaching for weeks about how like, I'm so excited for this game. Guys, we have this big game coming out. Guys, no one's talking about it, but it looks fire. Oh my god, I have never had to eat more of a fucked up sandwich, and I tried the first couple of like times. I'm like, everyone's saying this game is shit, how bad can it be? I'm playing it, I'm having fun for the first couple hours, and then fuck, man, it just keeps going, and you're like, I thought it would like improve, and it's just Jesus Christ. And just I don't know how you can even slightly justify any of the story at all. I can't even describe just the pain and confusion I have, for the main story. Like, in what world is this a main character that like tested well at all? Like, at all? How did anyone not be like, maybe I don't want to hear someone scream at me and belittle this very helpful bracelet that's the only reason why you're alive? And then happens to be at the end, he's actually a big bad demon. And it's just like, you're vindicated. Now your absolute heinous fucking actions, 100% vindicated now. And they're not. Everyone was still in the agreement when we played through the entirety of Forspoken together on this stream. I hate it, dog shit stream. If it wasn't for you guys, it'd be a nightmare. And we were making jokes the whole time. Anyways, holy shit. Everyone was in agreement of like, let Cuff win. Like, I'd rather play this awesome spectral angel demon than this fucking rat, bastard piece of shit, who's cruel and mean and vindictive and evil. Anyways, Forspoken is like a toxic parasite. Eats up at you. I already have PS5. Okay, so on the Devil May Cry mod, oh wait, no, let me catch up. Oh my god, I missed so much. I missed so much. I said almost, but the main thing I have friends a while ago, maybe 5 months, switched to PS5 me. Lone says, so the mod revamped the combat system of Kingdoms Hearts to combine it with a more complex style meter system with taunts that were more pre-existing from pre-existing games. I can't even believe it. I feel like just the fact that they mixed Kingdom Hearts and Devil May Cry and they made a mod of that, that's wild. I really want to get a VR Quest. Ooh, man, I feel we had this talk yesterday with I don't know, was it who? I don't know who was it. I don't know. Ah, fuck. I can't think of what it was, who the person was. Anyways, there's a person who he's there all the time too, so this is fucked up that I don't remember. But who basically asking like, should I get a Quest 5? Or sorry, should I get a Quest 2 or a Quest 3? And man, if Quest 5 or Quest 3, sorry, Jesus Christ, if Quest 3, you got me on PS5. If the Quest 3 had eye tracking, I would say immediately buy the Quest 5 or 3. Shit. But a part of me, man, really, I just think I still think the Quest 3 is probably still better. It's like worth the extra couple $100 that you're paying. Just because of the Pharrell lenses or like the lenses that they have on there. There's like there's like two screens essentially, and things like that. So I think it is still worth it, but it's just so close to being fucking on the money. On the money with that. If they just had eye tracking on there, if I could take away the AR functionality and just put eye tracking in there, I'd buy it so fast. You have no idea how little I care about AR right now. And every fucking video I see, AR is the future. Show me anything. I've seen a fucking tech demo of an asshole running around a room that's way too fucking big. It's shooting zombies in a corner, opposed to being immersed in an entire zombie-infested world, like fucking Saints and Sinners or some shit. What are we doing? What are we doing? The application for AR is when you're on the streets walking and like a fucking GPS arrow is like fucking telling you where to go. Or you have some sort of cool like AI gentleman assistant who's in like a tie and shit like Jarvis being like, go over here. Oh, do you want to ask Google where the fuck do you want to eat tonight? Boom. And none of that's been what's been happening. And it's just like, what is going on? Lone says, already have a PS5. Also, Grin, I sent. No, that's why I think you should get a PS5, a VR headset. I do feel bad for the people who subbed to the Brothers GRINN channel and the Share GRINN channel. Lol, they over there starving for. The Brothers GRINN channel. I feel like it will always be a husk, an endless husk, unfortunately. But I do think the anime channel will definitely get back to. Like for sure. In fact, I'm like the issue is though that like it's really hard for me, Lone, to go to those other channels when I still feel like I haven't even gotten like the ball rolling on my other ones. Like I don't know what happened, to tell you the truth, man. Like I was really good about I was able to basically for a while there I was able to make it so like every single video that I uploaded would at the very minimum get like 1,000 views, which was good and it was going up. But then I think I lost something that was important, like an insight that I forgot, that now all those videos are starting to not do really well. Like every video I have, it's kind of more scattered, and I don't feel like it's as guided and things like that. So it's really hard for me to be like, let me go over to the anime channel when I still feel like the baby that I've tried to make okay is still crying his eyes out. It's tough. As much as I would love to do all that kind of content, like if only my content succeeded, I'd be everywhere. I'd be doing fucking VR, gameplay, all that stuff. But when you haven't even made one really connect, it's kind of like, why are you spinning 5 plates when you can barely spin 1? So that's kind of where I'm at with that one. I would love to live in a world where I'm just crushing, but we're still learning out here. This meme is very accurate, dude. So accurate. I love this meme. This one's great. during those streams, we had some fun times shitting on the game, and yeah, it was a good time. It was only good because the community really got behind, like, this was a mistake. We should not have been this excited. Mulligan says, cause I guess it looks weird after your one-time video. Yeah, I can see, probably. Mulligan says, cause I may, since people would assume you're still sponsored. Maybe, I don't know. For me, I think what it largely is, I think when you do a sponsored video, it's so not creative. Like, I can't describe how it's like, they're like, cover our game, say this, you're going to go through these 2 levels, and then you're going to push to the game, and at this moment, that I feel like it takes away what is innately creative about the game, which is why I would like, if we can start to get the ball rolling on one of our channels, ideally it's a VR channel, I would love to genuinely go to a VR developer on Twitter and be like, hey, could I basically like cover your game and get like a percentage of like a referral link essentially. But that way, I am incentivized to keep showing the coolest aspects of your video game and also all of the opportunities that you can't see. Like, a lot of times devs will be like, we're like look at our cool web swinging chain feature that we have in our game. And it's like, that's not the coolest feature. The fact that what people really are going to want to know is the fact that you have progression within a roguelike that is awesome, that actually changes the way you go. You have a system, you have a gun in here that shoots like gigantic shotgun shells and rinses people. People who have like a YouTube short account would eat that up. Or sorry, if you made a YouTube short about like how violent is this gun, and then you just obliterate someone with like this crazy shotgun pistol that they have in the game, and then that people are like, well, what the fuck is this game? That's the thing that people really grab to, not here's this convoluted gameplay trailer. They want to know what this game, something about this game that is exciting and interesting to them. Like, a lot of times those little shorts that have one little moment in them are the thing that detonates them in their brain to be like, ooh, what's this? And they'll look into it further. But you need that kind of baseline. You need someone who understands the VR community to the extent in which they can be like, this is something you're not seeing. Which is why you kind of have to think like a marketer almost. You have to look at the game that they have and say, I need creative control because I need to basically start showing people what this game genuinely has to offer. But a lot of VR games don't really enjoy that. Because theoretically you could like shit on their game or something like that, which is why I think a referral link makes the most sense, because you're either shooting yourself in the foot or you're winning essentially. But that also makes it so that you also as a creative person can be like, yeah, I don't like the game anymore, and then you could basically say like, yeah, I dislike it, and then you are shooting yourself in the foot, which is kind of noble in a sense as well, because you're standing by your word and you're not making any money from it, which is fine. Opposed to where how it usually goes, it's just like, give me my money, and then they do whatever they want after they get their little sponsorship money. Which again, I have no issue with sponsorships. I feel like there's got to be a better way to provide value to the people who are sponsoring you, and to be genuinely honest about the features that exist within the game. Not like lying about like, this is a game that you'll like, even though I know my viewers wouldn't. Yeah. Mulligan says, I think they actually did a trademark the Nemesis system. Really? Oh, it sucks, man. I don't know how they. I always would love to see if a company actually did go to bat and like see like, oh, you trademarked it. Let's see how close we can get to this before we actually can succumb to it. You know what I mean? Mulligan says, that's how I felt playing Dying Light 2 on release. Oh no, really? I actually didn't mind Dying Light 2. What did you not enjoy about Dying Light 1 or Dying Light 2? I did see a video where a person showed like Dying Light 1 compared to Dying Light 2 and how like there were certain features like the skeleton fractures and stuff like that weren't in the game, which I get. I also, man, I so badly wish Dying Light 2 would have made use of the fact that you are like basically a zombie, like have a whole ass skill tree where you just start getting more mutated and you can like jump like a fucking spider monkey and shit like that. I would have also loved if they would have like times 10 the like survival aspects of the game in terms of like scavenging and like building up a base. Again, my ideal zombie game, I think, is a mixture of State of Decay with Dying Light 2. That's my ideal zombie game. I would love that. No story, none of this like crazy morality nightmare hell where it's like, oh, you have to choose who lives and who dies and that's why we care. It's like, no, bitch, I just want to fucking survive. If this was a zombie apocalypse, I would become a hermit and I would just scavenge and make a cool little fort and just try to survive. I wouldn't be out here being like you, choosing who lives and who dies. Fucking crazy. But if I had like the fort of all forts and I could choose who I could go and bring in, and like you bring in the most eccentric, straight out of Zombieland characters, fuck yeah, you know, and it's just a good time like Borderlands, and it's not too fucking agonizing. Awesome. That's my ideal of a zombie game. I'm not sure, maybe it's not your guys's, but yeah. Ugh. I have. Morgan says, "Have you used eye tracking in VR before?" I haven't. But the reason why I want eye tracking in VR, Morgan, is because one of the things that I would love to do is just be able to look at like menus and to be able to click with my eyes, like just to be able to look, click, like with your eye tracking. That's really cool. And this is the thing that I don't understand. There's a software that's called. I'm not sure if it's like foveated rendering or something like that, but basically it uses eye tracking in VR. I think this is what PS5 has. This is why the PS5 games look so good, is because they basically render whatever your eye is looking at, which is amazing. That means like you can run games at really high settings because you're only really rendering at really high settings this much, just like tiny little cone that your eye can actually perceive, which is amazing. And I can't believe they didn't put that in the Quest 5 or 3, Quest 3. Because the game that's already at like the bleeding edge of hardware maximization. So like, why would you not have something that makes it more efficient? It's wild to me. But yeah, I would. And also they have it in the previous, not the Quest, the Oculus Pro or whatever it's called. So they have eye tracking in that. So they have it. They have the technology. I would have still preferred eye tracking over AR. But yeah, I haven't tried it yet, but those are the features that to me would make or break it. The fact that I could like take less taxation away from my PC by using whatever my eye is looking at rendering, awesome. Because it still makes everything look okay, but everything is like slightly blurry and like not as crisp. But it's fine because you can't notice it because your eye is looking at it. But also there's like fun things I've seen, like where there's aim assist, where you're looking like you're doing archery and you're pulling back a bow and the game is like slightly adjusting for where your eye is looking. You still have to be somewhat in the right vicinity, but like you can hit a dime by just looking at this point, and that's awesome. Same thing with like Magic and Skyrim and games like that, where like you summon all these little orbs, and wherever you're looking and you let go, these little like needles just fucking fly at your enemy and they track based on where you're looking. Fucking rad. How could you not want eye tracking? It's so fucking lit. Anyways, you said the art thing? I'll check it out in a minute. Super says about the walking down the streets with AR stuff. Google Maps has that feature. No, I think it's funny, Super. I think is if you immediately you've tried VR, you would be like, it's just a completely different thing. Like, as much as you're like, oh, it exists on your iPhone. There's such a thing that is impossible to describe. Best way to describe it is like it's essentially depth. In VR, there's depth. So you perceive like a mountain, like you genuinely feel like you're perceiving the depth of a mountain. You're not just looking at a flat screen, which you're just basically taking in all the data and it's flat. So you walking down the street and you seeing like holograms in front of you, or like an arrow going exactly where it's supposed to go, and like mapping around people's shadows and stuff. So when they're walking on top of the arrow. All of these like weird features are. Yeah, especially if it's on your head and you're like, it's changing the way you look at the world, which is cool. And all those kinds of things. Like, imagine talking to someone and it automatically takes the image of their face. Maybe you're talking to someone and it's really like dark out, but it basically ups the brightness, but only where their face is, so you can actually see them clear. Like these weird tiny things that are subconscious that would just make your overall experience in the world, by having this lens that kind of adjusts to cater to you, essentially, is the true value, I think, of AR. A lot of people look at AR like a massive money-making system, where basically you're walking down the street and you see advertisements all over the place, which is a little scary. But yeah, I think of AR could be like the best replacement for school ever. But unfortunately, we haven't gotten there yet, and I don't know if we ever will, because the school system, I think, is just really entrenched in this hellscape of what it is. Oh, but there is an AR stuff for Google Maps. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do know there's like a VR kind of thing that kind of like that. If that's what you mean. Alone was the art thing commission you were talking about. I feel Alone says I feel the way about Raid Shadow Legends. I've seen countless sponsorships about Raid, and I've still can't tell about the story. Yeah. I was about to say Raid Shadow Legends is one of those games that where they are very few. I've never seen one person who's done a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor and has ever made anything remotely like it by themselves, which to me makes it feel extremely disingenuous. Like, it's funny because Mulligan points out like a perspective of the viewer, which I think is real, which is like, oh, you got sponsored for this, that's the only reason why you're playing this, not realizing that I only got sponsored for the first video and I actually just like the game. But then my perception is you got sponsored by this game and then you never played it again. That makes me think whenever you get sponsored, you don't give a shit about the game. You know what I mean? So two viewer perceptions here, which is interesting. No, this is the art. The fact I was making I think a Nikita homage to one of the characters. Let me catch up on the thing. Mulligan says that makes a lot of sense. I was hyper fan of the first game, so I may have been really picky. No, I feel like I feel like it makes sense why people didn't like, especially if you were a hyper fan of the first one. Waiting for fifth grade. First playing Dying Light in the fifth, but Dying Light 2 on release, parkour was really moon great. Yeah, I agree with that. It had some like weird floatiness to it. I think it's also because they were trying to like, because you also had like a paraglider and shit like that. The paraglider, honestly, I thought was kind of lame since I prefer on ground. But mostly, I agree. The paraglider always makes things. I feel like I would have been much more happy with like a mutated zombie jump. Like you just look somewhere and you can just fucking crank way high up in the air, etc. And like land with like a lot of brute force. Like that shit I think would fit more. But yeah. Although I will say, to me, I don't know. I understand the thing I think they were going for with the Dying Light 2, where it does, when like all of these things chain together, it does make you almost feel like you can go anywhere. Whereas I feel like in Dying Light 1, it was like you can go anywhere, but you have to be smart enough to think about the route that you're going. In Dying Light 2, I feel like they made it dumbed down to where anybody could feel that way. Anyone could feel like I can go anywhere. Or like you can just zip up a mountain with your grapple hook. You can what do you call it? Basically like cover massive ground by just like hitting air pockets, essentially, you know? But mostly there wasn't really any fear factor at night anymore. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I always found the whole like nighttime horror aspect of the game something that just because I don't like scary things, I just never touched. So like I heard a lot of people be like, the night's not scary, and I'm like, I mean, the night's kind of spooky, but I also have nothing to compare it to, you know? I'm also a bitch. But they patched back in volatiles. Yeah, I thought they did some stuff later on to kind of help amp it up a little bit. Mulligan says, I love 7 Days. Yeah, 7 Days to Die sounds great too. That's one of those games that to me is like just indie games, man. Indie games is like low budgets and stuff like that are just crazy. Oh no! Grow back, okay? Thanks, I guess, what? Thanks, I'll grow as high as you. The fuck you are. Die, garbage cat. But with that being said, he's one of them cool trees that have that are still growing even though they've been scorched by lightning and their like rib cage is all blown out and burned alive, but they're still growing. That's amazing. That's some king shit. Okay. Mulligan says eye tracking menus would be insane. Well, dude, that's what PS5 has. I'm always jealous. I see like the PS5 people playing Horizon Zero Dawn and they're sitting there going like, click, 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 and I'm like, God damn you! It looks so fucking awesome. And they're like the aim assist. There's this weird thing with VR where like you either want it to be as like grounded as humanly possible, like bullshit, no aim assist, no nothing. It's all gotta be like skill, all that stuff. But then there's this other like fantastical element to like doing magic or something in a video game that I feel like could really be applied for the eye tracking, which also makes sense if you're a fucking mage and it's all about like feeling mana and all that shit, right? I was supposed to go raid. I didn't say hi. Hello, raid. Mulligan says, dude, if Quest 3 had eye tracking, it would be open. Yeah, right, man. Oh, also, yeah, Yondo's arrow, dude. Oh, what do you call it? Mulligan. There's an amazing mod for Blade and Sorcery. I made a video about it. It's so cool. In fact, I think you should go watch it. I think it's a good enough video to watch. But it's on the Mind Palace Advantage channel or VR channel. I think if you go to the link in the description of the stream on Twitch, if you go to our YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel, it's linked as one of the second channels. And it's called Mind Palace Advantage. But if you scroll down, there's an image of this mod that is literally Yondo's arrow, which is the most spectacular feeling thing ever. I love Blade and Sorcery. I'll check, dude. It's so good. It's such a good thing. Unfortunately, I think it is for like an older. I think it's like for U11, so you might have to run back the clock. But dude, you never felt more overpowered and badass. It's also made by the same guy who made the Dire Wand, which is like the wands in the game. So it's all about like it's kind of about gestures. So you basically just palm people. You just do this, and then it'll just go on. It'll just kill in that area. So you'll just hear this whistling, and you'll just hear it go nuts. It's so good. It's so good. I can't wait. I can't wait for you to experience it. Get hit with IRL subtitles. What do you call it? Where are we doing? Oh yeah. For like augmented reality. Yeah. For actually being able to see like people and all that stuff. Wild. I couldn't wait. I did hear some weird things where people were saying that Meta with their headset, essentially, they did have a depth sensor, essentially, which is that thing that makes it so that you can actually see things and it doesn't look terrible when you're looking through a lens. But apparently they were saying that the depth sensor that they had could actually see through clothing or something. And I was like, what? And that's why they couldn't put it on there. Apparently it was legit, but somehow I think they've managed to basically make it so that it's hard to do that with the Quest 3. But let's check out this art. We'll take a minute for a break from the memes. Oh, I have a remnant thing that people yelling at me. I should have checked this before we went into it. What is this, Lone? I'm not sure if we should show this. Twitch and YouTube, it is not. This person is clothed. Albeit barely, but clothed. Very cute. The face is lovely. I don't know what the context of it is. Looks a little sus. I feel sketched out by showing it. So instead we'll show my reaction even though it's already shown. Did she pour whipped cream on her titties? And there's a thing there. Lone, you degenerate. You hopeless degenerate. It looks very nice though. It does, what do you call it? The face to me looks brilliant. The blush line's hella cute. The ice cream thing, or the whipped cream thing, sorry, I know what it is, which is good. I can distinguish what it is. What is this thing saying on the side? Happy first anniversary. It's cute. It's very cute. What is the white line? Is that like a bikini line thing? What is the white line underneath the skirt? It looks cute. It also I know it's a character from Nikita, but it also looks like that girl from Sword Art Online a little bit. Very cute. I like it, Lone. Improvements galore. I will say it's also just so... Yeah, it's so tough to do a side angle like that. Lone just never knows how to be like, hey, let me do one of the things and make it like chill and like let's make it kind of fine. Like let's do a front-facing, sitting down, looking at the camera. Instead, he's like, up. The camera's looking down like this. She's like this. Her hips are this way. She's looking at the camera though. This is going this way. It's just there's so much, so much. I mean, it's a testament to just the difficulty and the constant like, fuck it, let's just make it impossible. And then it. There we go. All right. What is this? I see a mommy with abs. What is going on? What does this say? I don't know what this is, but I like it. What is this? Picks them up? I don't know. What is he saying? I imagine he's like, yes, 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 please, yes. What, I'm gonna eat you alive, you sweet sunny bitch. Okay. Oh, Sunday bitch. I'm not sure if I like the whole go of it. I'm gonna eat you alive, you sweet sunny... What? Sunday. Is that right? Sunday? Sunday bitch? I'm not sure if I like the bitch comment. I feel like I'm gonna get pegged. But everything else seems okay. Cool, he says. and then we'll have kids together. Yeah, I'm gonna be as oh, okay. That's a good Uno reverse card. I'm gonna get eaten. Just gotta confirm I'm not actually gonna get eaten, and it's like a sexy thing. And she hugs him. It's cute. It's got yeah. This is the constant meme that me and Fluff relate to, which is people out here being like, I like women like this, I like women like that, I like girls like this, I like girls like that, and then there's like a meme of like, it's all great. It's all pretty fucking great, dude. What is this? Federal Unemployment Tax Act. Not to be confused with Futurama. I don't know what that. I don't have a data set about Futurama that's that clear. It's been a lot of years. Super says, yeah, I've tried VR at a friend's house. It's definitely really cool. Really want a VR headset. Oh, okay, so you have seen it. But I feel like the novelty of like walking around with like an arrow like gliding on the ground as like people's shadows walk over it in the game, it's able to process and like code all that. Mwah! Seems legit. So what time is it? We're good? Okay, gotta check. Raid says, "Law, not much. I just woke up." Raid, your sleep schedule is worse than it's almost the worst in our community. Almost. Raids is by far the worst. Reds. Reds is by far the worst sleep schedule ever. But Reds also just goes on like a fucking binge of like doing 3D art for like 8 hours or some shit. And you're like, stop, please. Dude, I don't know how people can like stay up super late. I can get like I'm one of those people that can like stay up till like let's say 2 a.m. maybe 2 a.m. and then I start feeling like death. Like Like I don't I'm not one of those people. Oh, is that what it is? It's a fishnet at the top? Okay, I was wondering what the thing was, like a line at the top of the stomach. I was wondering what that was. I thought maybe it was like a line from tanning. I thought. Lone says that's what the white part is. Okay, the white. Oh right, yeah. I didn't think about that. There's such a thing as not black fish stockings, but should there be? Should there be? My sleep schedule is fucking awful, says Raid. Alone says Nikita's first anniversary was a few weeks ago, and they've let Viper out of the whole celebration. So the art was looking. With the art, I took matters into my own hands. Ooh, okay. I'm about to say the whipped cream thing being a little on the nose. Also, I feel like it would just be messy. You know what I mean? Have you like I see that's like a genre that people are into a little bit of like eating food off of other people and whatnot. And I just feel like I feel like it wouldn't be as good as you think it's good. You know what I mean? Like human grease and body flavor that's like just literally skin is kind of like, yeah, maybe it's a novelty, maybe it's the idea of like booba good, make cream better. I don't know. I feel like that's what certain people who are into a certain subject of women with are okay. Clearly, you are an air fryer. Why? Because he has airbending powers and what's the Does he have fire magic as well? I don't know. I had too much. Yeah. Cute bunny ears. What the hell does it say? Gryffindor, please. Gryffindor, please. Azkaban. Get an Azkaban. Why is tiny bunny girl a problem? Okay. Friend. No socialize. Only friend. Friend? Question mark? No. What is that? She goes to reach for her hand. I don't know what this is. This is when Fluff was at his peak VTuber era, and he. At this point, we don't know if he's come down of it or if it's still going up. It's arguably still going up. So, but it's like looking at a god ascending like the pyramids. It's like, is it actually higher up or is it going down? It's so high up that I can't see anymore. You know what I mean? We're just kind of hoping that he comes back. Hey, what does it say? Try. It's so small, the words. It's not me. It's kind of me. Try. I need you to swear. Fuck, she says. She smiles. Swear as in promise. Oh, okay. Actually, cute, I guess. All right, why not? This girl gets shanked, right? I don't even know the game. I just know that this girl gets lit up, and people are upset about it. And I'm like, how can you be upset about it when you still have Tifa? You know what I mean? I feel like it's not a real problem anymore. Says, Serpenor, what? Serpon, Sortoli? Serpenol, Comet Azura. Oh, I see. It's some sort of Dragon Ball, whatever the fuck. I don't know. Some shit. You know when you see a meme is somewhat like that, and you're just like, okay. I kind of get it, but I don't want it. It's not funny if I get it. Also, classic, time capsule here. Remember when Hogwarts Legacy came out? Dude, Hogwarts Legacy, I heard, made like fucking 30... I'm not sure what it was. It was like 300 million or almost $1 billion. It was one of those like absurd numbers where you're like, fuck. And it's hilarious because the understanding that Warner Bros. Got from that was, here's this really successful single player game that is really good and has a decent amount of content like already. Let's make that a live service game. Let's make all of our games live service. I am actually into a Hogwarts live service game. I think Hogwarts Legacy probably should have been that. I think they should have kept adding to it. Because I think it was just, especially with the momentum that it had, yeah. But it's kind of just the weirdest take ever to be like, hey, this game is a single-player game that was attributed to being just like a really good game at a base with like not any sort of DLC or weird shit. But what we got out of that is we need to make it live service. It was like weird. When you're excited, when you're serious. What? Oh, I see. This is like texting people, like a little funny little boop, 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 boop. When you're serious, just a long thing. I have never gotten this ever. Not once. But I've also made it adamantly clear for most people in my life that I do not like texting at all. I'd rather talk to you. Rasta says, hey, Grin. Grin, who is amazing. Who Tao? Who is amazing? I am skipping Argenti, who is almost better than... What? Are we talking about... What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Are we talking about... I'm sure we're talking about Genshin Hutao? Or who is a different character in Genshin? Who? Rasta. I need an update, buddy. What's happening? What is good, Red? Speak his name and he shall cometh. Because bam. Red says, same, I hate... Exactly. Talk to me. Well, yeah, I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry for that, yeah. Same, I hate texting. Proceeds to chat. Sorry. Hopefully it's not the same thing. Rasa says, when we discover anime body pillow... Bang, serious. Oh, Stara. I see. So we're going for this character called Hoo. Sure I'm not saying it right. And you're skipping this character called Argent. Hey, Rasta, do you see the... First of all, awesome. Lovely. I totally know the intricacies of all that you're talking about. Secondly, y'all see the ZZZ trailer? We've seen that the robot guy was a Western guy, and yeah. There's not a lot to gain besides that. It looks neat, I guess. Anyone else stuck in this weird cycle where work is so exhausting that your hobbies feel like too much work, so you don't do them? Then you go back to work, upset that you don't take time to do things you like, and rinse and repeat. Well, I don't know, because I feel like, why is your hobbies draining? I feel like you don't have a good hobby. I think a hobby is supposed to kind of like motivate you and make you excited to do it, you know? I don't think it needs, like, I feel like your hobbies are probably ambitions or goals. Or like for instance, if you like drawing, that's beautiful. If you find it fun to draw, awesome. But if if you end up like forcing yourself, like, I need to draw this much every single week because it's going to make me better, I'm going to take a course online that makes me better in doing this, it becomes work, then yeah, it's going to burn you out. But I do think, yeah, there is also mental tiredness as well. What is this? I'm just going to, real quick, double check real quick. Okay, this looks fine. All right, bang. More wheels. More, got it. Individual tread engine. That got. Ooh, it's still. Okay, no, now it's more. Have we found peak design yet? No. Who the fuck is driving around so that big? I'm about to say, eventually it should just stop. The problem is it should not be solved this way. Get a helicopter. What are we doing? Okay, this is a specific problem and a lot of money spent. Star Rail, I want to see more gameplay of these. Yeah, I think everyone's in the same group. Although we did see gameplay a while back and it looked pretty fire. Like, I thought it looked like something you could play around. I don't know if we're ever going to get the depth of gameplay that I want from ZZZ, but we'll see. I'm not into that, but I feel... Lone says, no, I'm not into that, but it feels like it sets the mood for the... that's true. It does provide like a provocative thing, almost like lifting up a skirt to show stockings or something. Also, I hope it does well in the fan art. Oh, I definitely think it will. Yeah, I definitely will. I think it has a charming appeal for sure. Lone says, Grin, if you watch The Duke of Death Season 2... what did you think about episode 1 where they walk into the room of Alice? Oh, I loved it so much. It's they keep doing this shit. It's kind of annoying, Lone, in the show. I'm sure it's gonna maybe hopefully resolve itself. But like Alice, like it is one of the few anime that I applaud that has like such a vigorous, like super vigorous main character that's like, I love you. I'm going to marry you. I like you. You're so kind. You're so wonderful to me. You say you like me as well. And this is like what happens in real life. If somebody's into you and you're into them, like really into them, and you both know that, it just moves fast. Like probably too fast. Probably like you gotta calm down. Probably, but still. Anyways, it's one of the few anime that actually progresses in this way, which is nice. But they're doing this stuff where like he is all in and she's kind of like, but I'm a maid, I shouldn't be with you because you're like so important. And clearly the guy is like, I was gonna kill myself because I hated myself so much and I wasn't gonna live. Like what are you talking about? Do you think you're just gonna leave and I'm not gonna immediately go back to ground level hatred for myself or like sorrow? So that weird shit that they're playing with is kind of weird in the show. But the moment, man, I'm glad you brought it up because that sounds like a dopamine release where like they go and it just shows you how like how much he adores her, maybe even in some risky ways. Also, I love that the show doesn't hold back with like being human. So like there's a moment where the main character gets like asked like, oh wow, your maid Alice, who's the heroine of the series, is basically like, oh wow, she's very well endowed, got big boobs, etc. And he's like, if you must know, I'm a thigh guy, and don't talk about my maid. And then she's writing down something in her notebook, like noted, and it's just cute because there's these things where it's like, oh, I love you, you're my best, you're like all this romance and all this like weird poeticness to it, but then also they throw in like this human nature of like, but hey, thighs be amazing, or boobs be amazing, or whatever it be. It's like a human moment. But anyways, in the scene that me and Lone are talking about, basically he goes into like a dream state that shows all of his deepest desires, and it's basically just his love of his life, his maid. And it shows her in all these kind of provocative states. So she's got one where she's like tan. For those guys who don't know, the character is basically, think of like a maid. She's wearing all black, like goth, like kind of a goth vibe. She has really white skin and blonde hair, and she's got like cross earrings on her ear. Super cool design, like fucking killer design. Anyways, but after showing you like some degeneracy of the main guy being like, if you just wearing anything that's kind of nice or promiscuous is awesome, and that's it. And then she's super open to it. Like, this isn't good to know. We can have a whole future together, and I know all this stuff, which is lovely. But what really just puts the cherry on top is she gets to like his absolute most crazy desire, like this is the depth of his dream and his desire that he wants, and he's like, no, we shouldn't go down that door, essentially going deeper into his like final desire. And he opens up the door, or no, she opens up the door and peeks inside, and what she sees is her in like a wedding gown, with like with like light streaming in, and it hits her, and she kind of slowly shuts the door, and she has like a giant smile. And to me, it was one of those things where it was so funny, where like it's just each one of his stages of thing is like degeneracy, hot, she's hot, I want to see her in this, degeneracy, hot, kind of wholesome moment where he wants to like play in front of a theater full of people because he's a pianist, but at the very core of his deepest desire is to marry the girl he loves. And it's just like one of those moments. It's like that there's a reason why r/hand holding is a meme, but it's also like, it's for your soul, boy. It's for your soul, okay? Let me catch up on this. Everyone popping in. Same, I hate texting. Red says, nah, chatting in the stream, a chat, a thing like Discord is not famous. Okay, yeah, I feel like texting is way too like long-winded, and I always put down my phone, and it's with Discord, it's like a quick back and forth, I feel like. He's I was like, yes. Well, I knew that you get that from season 1, where he says it on the ice skating thing, where he's like, hey, and I'm like, Red says, anyways, mod update. I had to redo a lot of retro polygy and recreate this certain part of the mesh of the nurse dress for a cleaner and less polygon result. But finish this one. Ooh, that's awesome, that's awesome, Red. Sorry, Lone message right below you. That's fantastic. I'm about 95% done. That is wild. That is so crazy, Red. Just like it puts things into perspective of like how long development can also take, but also like you're learning. So I think it's going to be a faster process in the future. But still, man, that I remember we talked about this when Elden Ring was out. Like you started this mod, you know what I mean? Like maybe a little bit like 2 months after Elden Ring, maybe. And yeah, it's just dedication, and this is a beautiful thing. Also, I think you're like learning a lot, so it's cool to see. It's motivating to see. Same with Lone in his drawing. It's all motivating. Lone says, all I could think about is that this guy must have watched a lot of and was into all the tags. all of them were pretty like yeah. To me, it was like I thought it was like it made some sense. Where like there was like the Gara tag. Essentially, it's like, oh, the woman I love, but like in every single variant that it could be, essentially. And I thought it was really cute. And also, I thought it was adorable that. Like, it looked like a healthy relationship. Like, the Duke of Death is weirdly, like, a really healthy relationship where the woman is also like, this is awesome. Like, I didn't see some sort of horrible shit where it's, like, some destructive thing. It was like, no, he just wants to see me in various outfits and, like, provocative states. But it's nothing, like fucked up. Or, like, how do I put it? Strenuous on the relationship. Oh, I want to talk to you guys about this. Maybe I shouldn't talk to you guys about it, because sometimes when I talk about stuff before I've done them, it kind of makes me feel weird about it, like I have to do it, or like I'm lost in it or something. I'll say some stuff. Let me slam my coffee and then we'll talk about this. Ugh. Okay. Forgive me, guys. Just need a minute. My sinuses are locking up because this is so dusty. This whole place is dusty. Okay. Here we go. Are you ready? Open them ears. Okay. So, for a while now, one of the things I've been experimenting with the Mind Palace of Madness channel is essentially like pushes, which I think it makes a lot of sense. So like instead of making one video with one idea, you essentially come up with a theme for like 3 or 4 videos. The reason why you do this is because when you make one video and maybe that one video people really connect with, well, good, you have 3 other videos with a similar theme that maybe are different enough that people could still find fresh and interesting. This is kind of what we've been doing recently with the Doom saga, which I still have to upload like 3 videos or 2 videos for that. So hopefully you guys are receptive to those. Anyways, so that's something that I think is really smart to do in content creation. Just makes sense as far as optics, as well as it makes it easier for you because you can just build off of a theme, essentially. But another way that people do this within YouTube is they basically make buckets. So one of the best things to learn if you're thinking about doing a YouTube channel, I think, is you should always know it's about who your viewer is and what they value. And the second half of that is knowing, or basically investing in YouTube buckets. So what this essentially is you define 3 series, whatever, buckets that you're going to have on your channel that are similar but different. So say if you had a baking channel and you wanted to do like pastries, like desserts. Well, if you only ever did cookies on your channel, eventually people who were subscribed to your channel would get bored with just cookies. That's why it's good to have desserts, maybe ice creams, like an ice cream bucket where you're constantly making different iterative things on ice cream. Maybe it's good if you make baked pastries. Like, it's good to have those 3 buckets of like cookies, pastries, and ice creams. Those are the 3 things that you just need to basically create a video that fits into each one of those things about those kind of general topics, and you'll be good to go. So it's really good for like the mental stability of your channel to do that. This is something that I started doing at the very beginning and then I kind of lost. So I wanted to kind of bring that back and do it again. So I kind of, but this time I wanted to be a little more smarter about it. So what I ended up doing, I don't want to go into the logistics, but I just did a lot of R&R basically, or research and recon, I should say. I did a lot of stuff where I looked up a lot of channels, what people like, and I started trying to understand who the dominant audience is in every single category of YouTube and not YouTube, of VR sectors on YouTube. So I came up with 3 things basically, 3 buckets that we're going to start to try to fill on that channel. But one of them I kind of don't want to talk about it because it's hard for me to do it. Like, not hard for me to do it. It's hard for me to. The more I talk about it, the more I think I will define it, and the more I define it, the more I feel like I'm going to not be able to fulfill it. Does that make sense? Anyways, one of the buckets that we're going to do on the channel, which I think is really fun for me, it's basically the name that I'm probably going to title the playlist, like, Let Me Tell You a Story, playing off of the idea of Borderlands, Marcus being like, so, you want to hear a story? Have I got a story for you? Classic Marcus line. I butchered it. I'm not sure that's specifically it, but it's close. Anyway, so the first bucket is basically going to be called experiential storytelling, which is what I really adore. Like, I really enjoy when there's a new VR game that I can basically play it, understand it, and then like almost do a voiceover as if I'm telling you a story, which I love. I love stories. So to me, we've done that with a lot of videos recently. We've done that with we can also do that with like update videos. So the only definition feature of this bucket is anything in which I can tell you guys a story through the eyes of like a god's eye view, you know? So if there's a new update for Blade and Sorcery, I would love to basically like jump in, play it, and then tell you guys about all the new things that they've added, as well as the experiences that I had, maybe sprinkling in some gameplay and funny moments to kind of break up the whole slew of things, right? So then the second idea I have is kind of playing off of another thing that I've loved about VR, which is kind of like this atmospheric storytelling. So one is like the storytelling of like my experience and like us doing this new update in this video game and all that kind of stuff, right? But the other thing that I really love is, and I love this within other VR content creators that I've seen, is basically, for instance, there's a Bone Lab map. And it's really, really good at being creepy. The sound effects, the atmosphere, the everything. It's just super good about letting you sink deeper and deeper in to whatever you're trying to convey, whether that's horror, whether that's goofy fun, whether that's whatever. So the second bucket that we have is basically called Prompt of Madness, playing off the idea of our channel name, Mind Palace of Madness, Prompt of Madness. The idea here is, instead of it being a god eye view of a storytelling, it is a perspective view of storytelling. So you know our black noir, psychotic like initiation videotape thing that we made? That's basically a prompt of where I was like, I had an idea where I wanted to play with this mod I found in Bone Lab, and I thought it'd be really funny if you could have fun with like playing into the psychosis of black noir and all that kind of fun stuff. Another like different version of that I really want to try out is like playing a scary horror map in Bone Lab, but instead of maybe like you're not exactly like role playing. Sometimes you're role playing, sometimes you're like playing this weird character and you're just kind of riffing off of the weird shit that you know about them. But then other times, I think it could be fun to really like sink into like being a little bit more scared and like not running away from the feeling of like me exploring the scary map in Bone Lab and like kind of doing what I oftentimes do, which is try to like break my scaredness by like making a joke, by breaking the tension with a bit or something, but to instead try to like amp up that atmosphere, like let myself be scared, let myself kind of feed into the same atmosphere of like you're alone and you're scared and you're freaking out a little bit. And if I can add music and editing that amplifies that and adds all this like this pacing rhythm that makes you feel like something's building to a conclusion, and maybe even like set things in that scary environment that make it even more scary for the viewer and shit like that, that to me is like a really cool thing. That was one of the buckets. Those are both fine. Those are both ones that I've already done on the channel. I think I can do it. I feel better now that I've defined them, so I can easily make content for them, right? The third one is one I want to talk to you guys about. The third bucket that I've come up with, okay, here's kind of the pitch. One thing that is almost unavoidable when you're experiencing anything within VR is that there is this underlying aspect of VR that is innately kind of risky / perverse. Like it's hilarious in a lot of ways. Where like you'll be scrolling through mods on Bone Lab and you'll see like the most provocative furry cat thing with big old boobies and just crazy. And you're like, God damn, you're not hiding or beating around the bush at all with what this does. Same thing for the anime avatar. Same thing for like, there's genuinely so many VR games about you getting vored. Like getting eaten by a giant demon mommy, getting literally vored, eaten. Sometimes they kill you and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Anyways, so there's this like endless amount of this thing that's like obvious, and I thought it'd be really, really fun to have a series which is called Reluctant Pervert. So that's what the bucket is called, Reluctant Pervert. That's what I've given the title of it. But to me, I would love so badly to basically have like a series where we could kind of awkwardly, it's gonna be fucking awkward, it's gonna be cringe, but to explore and to see that head on in a way. I'll blur it all, nothing will be thing, but it'd be funny I think, to see someone experience those kinds of things. I've seen other people in VR kind of do it in some kind of a way, but to me, like one of the things I thought would be such a fun like hook for a video is how bad, how do I phrase it? Today in this video, we are going to be finding out how bad it would be in a rating system if you had a partner that had this specific fetish or proclivity. So like hypothetically, let's say your partner's into let's say vor, because that's the one I just see a lot of. How bad is it going to be? You know what I mean? First of all, it's impossible for this to possibly exist. So it's not like your partner's going to cheat on you by someone who's going to enable this, because we don't have giants in our world. Totally fine. And I think at the end of that video, after we experience the fucked up weird VR games, we basically try to conclude on like an S tier rating to an F tier about how difficult it would be to be with a partner that has this specific proclivity. And then we'll start probably pretty calm, like anime bunny ears on like a girl or something, on like a Bone Lab avatar, and they'll work our way up to probably like vor and some horrible shit. And we'll try to figure it out. How bad is it? Hypothetically, say you had a woman and she was really into lizard costumes. At what stage does it become a problem? When your ass is in a hot ass lizard suit, is that too much? I think it's too much. I feel like that's probably F tier. But hypothetically, if all you have to do is wear some gloves and some shit, then I don't think it'd be that bad. You know what I mean? I think it could be a fun series. So that's what I think I want to do. But at the same time, it's tough because that's why I also named the bucket itself. The genre is Reluctant Pervert, because I know all of these things. Like we've talked about all these things, but that doesn't mean I can I'm not shameless. Sorry to do this to you guys. I'm not shameless like some of you guys who are like, this is what I am into, and here's the exact breakdown of it. Also, I don't know if that's as funny as someone who is like, listen, I see it, I'm aware of it, I don't know how to really engage with it, I'm not here to judge you, I'm here to try to understand the angle in which this can maybe be provocative to some extent, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's one of the buckets. But anyways, let me catch them on chat. Those are the three things I want to run by you guys. The third one is the one that I'm like, oh man, it's the one I hesitate the most with, because I I think I could make it work, but I just have never done, like, unlike the other 2-3 things that I just mentioned, or the 2 buckets I just mentioned, all those things I've done before. Like, I totally have confidence in my ability to have, like, to tell a story about, like, an update, a new game that came out, why it's good, what the angle of that is, which is good, bolster it with, like, sound effects, music, all that stuff to make you sink into this story. Pattern interrupt it with, like, gameplay moments, funny clips, and things like that. I love that. I also think I can have some even more fun with, like, immersive stuff, to where I can create many different types of vibes, like exploring a VR dungeon or something like that, and really amping up with editing and sound effects, the creepiness of it, the sounds of it, the breathing, even, like, playing into the fear that am probably experiencing alongside you guys, and, like, boosting up that sound and, like, immersing yourself in that thing. Also playing, like, having goofy fun while playing, like, one of the best videos that I've ever seen as far as creativity goes is literally made by this prompt. A belligerent father who is cursed takes his furry son to a 7-Eleven to bond. And that's essentially like it's a VR, a Bone Lab video, and it's so fucking funny. But he basically goes into this creepy, like, level map, and he has, like, the RP, the role play of him being, like, this dad, and he's, like, trying to talk to his son who's in a furry suit, and he's just, like, trying to connect with him, but he's also being, like, hella aggressive and belligerent. But he's also like, if you talk to my son, you push my son, or I'll kill you. So he's like it's like a weird dynamic of, like, a protective father that also doesn't quite get it, but is also doing that. And then there's this moment where he goes into, like, his other son's room, and it's like this grotesque baby, and it's like this demon monster that's essentially haunting him, but he's like, yeah, it's your brother. And it's so good. It's such a good, like, prompt, and such a good thing to play off of. That one, I feel like I can play off. I'm going to need to get better at, like, playing into a character and being okay with that. I find I oftentimes get, like, crushed by, like, I'm cringe. I shouldn't pretend I'm this so hard. It's cringe, you know? And I feel like what makes those videos work is when you just fully send it, and you're like, no, this is the character that I'm playing, and you're not going to stop me, you know? Anyways. But hopefully we'll start filling up those buckets pretty soon. I still have 2 videos to upload, about maybe 3 videos to upload on the Doom series. I still haven't, like, fucking released. You probably guys will get hit with, like, 3 videos next week. All I can think about is the guy must have watched a lot of Harada. Yeah, and the tags, it was so yeah. For context, says Red, retro polygon is a step in the 3D modeling process with an object polygon mesh is modding to recreate the obedient a cleaner layer. Yeah, I imagine it's just like a process that you found a better process to make something more clear, more high quality. So, like, you took which is awesome. You instead just said, it's good enough. You said, no, I'm going to learn how to do this a different way that's even better. That way I won't have to go back and constantly kind of have to, what's it called, accept kind of like imperfection, I guess. You know, I'll be able to have what I actually deem to be good enough. But it says, I finished the core mod, Queen America, months ago. This mod I'm working on now is an addition to the... Yeah, still, I was just surprised at how long the process of making that outfit took, you know? Like, I would have thought that making the body would have been significantly harder than making the whole, like, outfit, but I think what you've learned with the outfit is probably something that can translate way more than just the body, you know? Because I think it's way more complicated coming up with, like, the fabric lines and the shadowing and the whole fucking shebang, you know? Red says, Marika was mostly just me porting the mod to the game. I did not need to actually create... Oh, I see. So that's what it was. Gotcha. So now you actually create... I wonder if I can't wait to see what the next next thing you do is. Because now I think you have the skill set to do the whole thing. Or, like, to make a good dent into doing the whole thing. Alone says, I wouldn't... I can't... Damn it, this fucking stupid thing. Sorry, it's this heart and it keeps blocking the comments. Lone says, I wouldn't think it's cringe. I think it would be... Yeah, I hope it's going to be fun. It's more of, like, in my head thing. Like, you guys would be shocked at how much I think you'd be blown away at how much editing can do, how much sound. Just like sound, man. Sound is such an emotional thing within humans that connects you in such a weird way. Like, it can make a moment of a person going like, I'm scared, I'm not sure if I want to go in there. And if somebody amplifies like atmospheric sound, like this wind, this jostling, this kind of like the crunch of gravel underneath your foot every single time, boom, boom, boom. And if you add like a slight, like the scared tremor in your voice, slight, barely hearable, but you can still hear it. And then you zoom in with the camera, just slightly with the flashlight, holding on that spot for a brief moment. It takes a moment that is just like you sitting there with the flashlight holding it, like at a spot, and it makes it like terrifying in its own way. And then you don't even need anything to pop out. You just need that feeling to kind of keep like pulling you out and pulling you back in, and you can just get sucked into this thing. So that's the whole atmospheric thing. But I'm sure Lone is talking about, I'm more talking about like me as a person. I find it hard sometimes to fully send the performance of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, because I part of me, I have that like voice in my head that's like, it's kind of cringe, dude. Kind of like, come on, what are you doing? You know? And I think most people have it. Like, even I think Lone, I feel like everyone has a moment where they're like, that's stupid. This is dumb. You know what I mean? But the point is to push beyond that and to be like, is this funny? Is this interesting? Is this gonna make this work? You know? And a lot of times you don't know, so you just fully send it hoping that it's gonna catch or it's gonna connect. You know? America was. My next project after this is updating some of the other existing mods that I've promised to do, but I have been falling into my back. Yeah, that happens though, man. Especially when you have like, I think Red is in this place of like constantly seeing so many things that he can improve upon. Like, oh, that's something that I want to learn. Oh, that's something I'll figure out how to do. And I think now you're in this state of like, oh, I want to do that because I'll be able to learn from it, or I'll be able to like improve that or something like that. But you almost have like, and I've had this happen where like I've created a list of things that I know I want to do, and a part of why I want to do them is because I think it would help me improve upon what I'm good at, while simultaneously it's also kind of like well, now I'm just overburdened essentially. I got so much to do and it's kind of crushing in a way. So yeah, it's tough. I think it's best if you just slow down and realize I can get to this whenever I want. You know, fuck these people. I don't owe them anything. Yeah. Red says, after that, I will be porting Crystal character model, Star Fox, female character, to the game. Really? Like a furry Star Fox character in Elden Ring? That's going to be wild. I can't wait. That's going to be a sight to see. I'm not sure if it's already existed, but shit. beating Elden Ring as a fox. And I imagine there's going to be like hair physics and shit. After that is done, I will finally port the character model I want to use personally for my own playthrough, then actually play. You still haven't played Elden Ring? You're psychotic. You're psycho. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's what we're going to have to wind down. I'm already late a little bit. Also, this meme has been here for 20 years. Mobile Huddle became available here. We can just discuss me. Anyways, but yeah. We had that up the whole time, yeah? Wow. I should have really read the meme before I had to just mobile porn. I'm sure YouTube's gonna fucking age restrict this shit. The boss, when you fight her, yeah, the boss when you unlock her as a playable character. Cute. Cute. What is this? The really badass kid gets visited by the Easter wolf. Okay. That looks like the happiest wolf I've ever seen. Trotting along. Pin comment. Yeah. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this was a fun stream. Thank you for letting me ramble at you. Ooh. Super sad. I completely forgot that meme was there. What do you mean? Oh, what do you call it? Did that one of the... Oh, the thing. Listen, sometimes we talking. Sometimes your boy's animated. But man... yeah, hopefully that makes things easier to make. By the way, like it's kind of, I don't know. Sometimes it's tough because sometimes like videos aren't working, and then what's nice about the whole like idea of making buckets for YouTube videos is that if the goal is for your bucket for one of your videos to be similar enough but different so that people don't get bored. But another cause of that is, say if people really do like you venturing into these kind of weird subjects, or maybe they really like you when you're like updating them on the video game that they love, or talking about this new VR game that you've played, or maybe they like your like more absurdist like role play kind of perspective shifts. type of VR content. If they engage with any of those positively, then basically they have a backlog of content for you to be able to give them. So it ends up kind of working in the sense of you're basically you're compounding your videos, which is hard to do, but yeah, I think it can work, especially if one of your videos takes off and there's like people like that type of video, they have a bunch of other videos that are similar that they can enjoy, you know? So YouTube can push that type of video to them and they'll be happy, hopefully. Stuff like that. Hopefully. It's tough to really, I need to do a lot more work on like systematizing everything, but hopefully that'll make my life a little bit easier, because I think I'm in a trap of like doing too many kind of weird creative things, and as much as that's extremely fun and freeing, it is also disenchanting when you're failing, or when like videos aren't really doing really well, as well as it's also like, man, I gotta come up with a new angle on this whole thing. You know, if you streamline, it's like, okay, I just gotta fill this up and we're done, which is nice. But yeah. Red says yes, the female fox, she will have hair physics but not her fur. No skeleton in the game would support those physics, but I will be creating fur for her body from scratch. Golly! But I feel like with that, you can kind of make it look hyper-realistic, even in a weird way, you know? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully y'all enjoy the rest of your day. You've been nothing but lovely. I hope I can see you again on Thursday. I'm off to go hang out with some family, because we gotta go hang out with my grandparents, because we haven't seen them in a while. And then I'm just gonna be editing. I'm just gonna be, no, not editing, making a thumbnail. I might upload a video today. We'll see. We'll see. Thank you for your time. I hope I can see you again. And goodbye, my friends. Also, I met so many people I haven't talked to in a while. So I hope you're still here. Love to see you again. I hope I can see you again. Bye, guys. I really do need to import like the ending screen, because we just have the starting soon screen and it's kind of cringe. Anyway.